Arrendor is on the brink of upheaval. For centuries, the clan struggled against giants until 400 years ago, when dragons crossed the Great Sea, forcing them to unite and build the 10 Bastions. As the threat faded, the clans fractured into the 10 kingdoms, and all but the last Bastion were abandoned. As ancient calamities stir and darkness rises in the east, my 4 champions must rise up to unite the kingdoms, restore the Bastions, uncover their secrets, and stand against this darkness as a declaration of war.
Calagon Dör. I will discover the secrets of my lineage and cement my legacy as one of the greatest adventurers of all time.
Cleave still in here. The migration of the dragons forced the migration of peoples and beasts, which brings death. We're all invasive species now. I won't let us become extinct ones.
The name's Rodrick Elwood, the voice of this generation, and the greatest performer in lore. Oh, and you should see me with a bow.
And I, Arlyn Dursalai, searching for my father's sword, Trident, to bring justice to these lands. Together, we are the 4 Horsemen.
And this is Divine Inspiration. The thing. Welcome back! As you can tell, our screeches aren't quite as boisterous tonight, and that is because we are short 2 members of our party, technically speaking, as unfortunately Javi, our producer, is still out, whom we so dearly love. But he, of course, has far more important responsibilities, raising another child, and so we are so excited. We love you, Javi. And Manny will also not be with us today, which I will say loosely, fortunately, works out in that he's not part of the Ziggurat currently. And so, with that being said, guess it's time for us to bully Manny, since he's about to be our new DM in a few weeks.
Yay.
But without further ado, gather around, get cozy, and enjoy as we get to tell some of the final bits of this chapter of the 4 Horsemen story by Divine Inspiration. Last we left off, we had heard such cackling at the mouths of these unusual small elemental creatures which have started to overrun the Ziggurat, coming from south up northward towards both Calagon and Cleave as they seek to defend these hourglasses, having now found out that while their friend Rodrick is inside fighting, using the power of all 4 elements to his advantage, these guys are out here defending these hourglasses which house these crystals as sources of power, sending them directly to Rodrick on the inside. And so, as 2 of these hourglasses have now shattered, we've seen now as Rodrick has felt this weakening on his person, as now, unfortunately, he is unable to use both the transformations of water and of earth now, as both of those were broken. And so, as Rodrick now feels himself shrinking and lessening in power, you can feel now, Rodrick, where those aspects of you which you were so confident in just moments prior, you start to feel seeping away from you. And in that, you also start to recognize that the color is vanishing from this energy-like armor surrounding your body. And so, stepping forward, having now taken on this, as Nick referred to it, axolotl, you unfortunately have now experienced that this transformation elemental has now spewed forth one more massive threat in the form of an earthen pangolin. Something that you've seen embodied in the own armor that you wore just moments prior, and yet now get to see it in a truer form than ever before. And so, with that, we are going to go ahead and pick back up straight into combat today. And so, with that, we've got in order Rodrick, Calagon, the NPCs, and then Cleave at the last. And so, starting us off up top, Mr. Rodrick Elwood.
Oh goodness, oh goodness.
Well, Rodrick.
Mr. Producer.
So, hello everybody. I am behind the producer's table today, and I'm also playing. The timing of this was horrible. It's perfect. All right. So I did lose Hunter's Mark. No, I did not lose Hunter's Mark.
You didn't lose it,
We
and
spoke
you've
about
yet
that last
to
time.
reappoint it.
Okay, so for me to reappoint it, it would take another bonus action, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to begin by pointing my Hunter's Mark to the pangolin,
Fantastic.
and I will start by taking out my bow, my long bow, and I will shoot.
Okay. You know what to do. Let's see what you got.
Miss. Oh, horrible.
Reflecting straight off the
Horrible
hardened
miss.
scales of the pangolin as it kind of ducks its head now, barreling towards you. Then I take it as your action and your bonus action, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic.
it
Then
is.
as that starts trailing downward towards you, coming foot by foot forward ahead towards you on this staircase, you can see now where it starts to dig down and shift its hands into the sand below. And as you can now see him slowly starting to blend into the sands, you recognize that these sands are rising higher and higher as more sands are falling down from the ceiling above. And Calagon, as now the sands start to gather up at your feet, the laughter gets louder and louder as this unusual just slurry of maniacal laughs continue to spread throughout that chamber beside you.
Which are the powers I don't have access to again?
Water and earth. Standing before this massive flaming sphere that Cleave has just put forth, you recognize that these elementals are trapped behind it, but you know that from times past, it doesn't seem to stop the fire ones.
Okay. Well, guess I'm going for that fire one specifically, and knowing what we need to do, I'm gonna magic missile it and go straight for it with all three at a level 1.
Okay.
All three going right to the fire.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can see now where it's kind of gliding just off the corner of this, while this sphere is kind of centered to hit all three of them. And you see as it just flaps forward now, gearing towards that corner of the doorway to see if it can fly its way out towards you.
And as soon as it peeks its mug out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10
Okay.
right at the fire guy.
You hear as this laughter, and suddenly as you watch now as this thing just starts to boil and blister, and suddenly it just bursts entirely, and you hear screams now coming from behind it, where the laughter now is intermingled with these loud kind of screeches in between, where it's like, and suddenly those voices all get quieter.
Oh,
Okay.
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 All right. What you got? Wait, who's next?
With that, the NPCs are up.
Okay, bring it on.
Blimey.
And you can see, Rodrick, where as this is continuing on, the pangolin comes down these stairs, but it doesn't approach you. Instead, it starts digging its body underneath these sands and burrowing its way, starting to push the earth with it, bringing the sands closer and closer towards you as though compiling it into a pile surrounding your feet and pushing in your direction. And you can see now where this mound starts to push closer towards you, and suddenly the pangolin vanishes from view.
Is a pangolin anything like an armadillo?
Sort of, yeah. It's just kind of this, you ever seen Sand Slash from Pokemon?
Mm-mm.
Just Google
They
a pangolin.
disappeared?
You'll see, they're really cool looking. I love those things. They're pretty dope little critters.
Yeah,
I've
it's
had a
Pokemon.
recent war with an armadillo, and I didn't lose that one either.
Nice. A fine point. So, as that's occurring, you recognize that this transformation elemental is continuing to refine itself and pushing up parts of its body, and where parts of it were almost kind of floating off to the side, you can see now where they're starting to take greater shape. and it's starting to look much more like the figure of a man. And it's slowly steadying itself. And with one hand on its chest and the other on its knee, you can see now where it's picking itself back up and looking towards you with these almost emptied sockets that, as you see now, this earth begins to cover up. And as though blinking upward, you see now these two darkened black stones inset where the eyes would be. And a slight glow appears at the center of both. And unlike any of the colors you've seen from the figures before you, they are this almost kind of light green looking your way. And as it stands too, it starts to back up, and you can see where it grabs the sands from the hourglass and starts pulling them downward as though to rush them forward. But that's all they're gonna do for the time being. Cleave!
All right. Wait. On their turn, I don't know what became of them, but did they take damage from being near my fireball?
They're gone.
They're just gone.
Oh, they're gone?
They are gone.
Or they're gone?
Oh, they're gone.
They're gone. I think I got the fire one and you got the rest.
I'm gonna keep it there. That's going absolutely nowhere.
Okay.
Fair.
If anything, I'm just gonna push it inwards like 5 feet towards the middle and then back out if it doesn't hit anything.
Okay.
So my bonus action there.
I respect it. Simple enough. Kind of pushing
Just in
around.
case.
You don't hear anything immediately. And as you kind of push around and try to scope out the area using this massive burning orb, you eventually kind of pull it back, and luckily the sound of laughter is seemingly gone. At least for a moment. But down the hall still to your south, you recognize that there are still more. Maybe not here immediately, but certainly coming.
There's
All
more
right.
coming.
Calagon, get out of the hole!
And I will just. I mean, I'll save my reaction so that if Calagon gets out of the way, I'll just finish moving it back out into the hallway where he is.
Okay.
But for now, it's just gonna kind of lower towards the ground. So if one of the burrowing one is still trying to come out, it's not getting out.
Okay.
And I will run over. Let's see if I can. How does the map work here? Where are my tools?
Let me see here. Oh, forgive me. That one shouldn't be closed off. Allow me to fix the fog of war in that area. There you go.
Okay, I don't know why I can't do this right now, but I want to try to walk basically into the gravity room. What is it called? Ether.
The ether?
I wanna go to the ether room.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Gosh. Okay. Actions. I guess if I'm holding my bonus action as my reaction, then I'll just, as my action, I'll just dodge.
Cool. And what's your bonus action?
The movement of the
flaming sphere?
The flaming sphere. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Then with that, we're gonna jump all the way back up top in initiative. Rodrick,
All right. So I can't currently see the pangolin.
you can't. You're able to see the slight shifting of sand surrounding it in different areas for a brief moment. But as you start to look around, forgive me, this is my fault. There is an unusual whirlwind of sands that begins to start to take form surrounding you, and there is this light, almost thud that you can feel at your feet. As the sands now start to kind of whir around you, I would like for you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Alrighty. $26.
What do you mean? As now this starts to kind of shift around you, you can feel your feet start to sink. And as you do, immediately kind of moving out of the way, you recognize that this thing is clearly intelligent. As you step 1 foot out to kind of balance yourself and get yourself out of these falling sands, you see now where your body's leaning towards, a spike of earth juts out of the ground, and as smooth as though mid-dance, you're able to spin your way out and around as another one juts out from in front of you. And you watch now as these two spikes that would have otherwise skewered you are now just squeezing at your sides and then slowly just crumble back to sand.
They were spikes of sand, or they were from the pangolin?
They look to be completely earthen, like rock, and then they crumbled to sand.
Nice.
Okay. So it looks like he's controlling the ground.
Seems to be the case.
Yeah, I would get
Okay.
off that
Sick.
sand.
How am I supposed to hit him when I can't see him? That's crazy.
Get off the sand.
Well, if I can't see him... Let me see. Okay, yeah, there's nothing I can do in that sense. There's nothing I can do in that sense. So then I will fix my eyes on the transformation elemental. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move towards it. Let me mark here how far I can go. Okay, there we go. So I'll be able to move to up here.
Cool.
At which point I will take my longbow out again, and I will shoot at the transformation elemental.
Fantastic. All right, run it.
Brother! Miss.
Okay.
But you dodged really well. That was good.
Go ahead and tell me what your roll was.
1.
Fantastic.
Well, plus 6.
Okay.
So 7.
As you now fire on this creature, you can see where it almost instinctively puts a hand out, and in its form, it starts to kind of look as though it's starting to grow organic aspects from beneath the earthen stone of its flesh. And you can see where the stone starts to take on a lighter pigment, as though looking somewhat like skin at this point.
Interesting.
And as you fire on it, it sticks a hand out as though to block its face, and you can see now where that arrow just stops midair in front of its hand. And as it turns, almost confused, looking at it, it puts its hand out, and you can see where the arrow follows with its hand, and it simply reaches out and grabs it.
Alright, before my turn ends, I'm going to use my bonus action to change my form into ether.
Slick.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay, Calagon.
Yeah. After seeing he's manipulating that fire sphere, I'm going to run all the way up here. Let's see if I can get there. I can get pretty much right there. And I'm looking through. Can I see anything through?
The closer you get, the more those kind of tendrils start to kind of try to mask your view. But going up there, you were able to see those last brief moments of Rodrick firing off at the elemental.
And I can see the elemental through?
Briefly,
door?
but the closer you get, the tighter those tendrils seem to compact.
So where I'm at
It's
now...
almost as though it's like a motion sense.
So where I'm at now is pretty much... It's still open. I could kind of see through.
Barely, yeah.
And did I hear anything in the hallway as I was leaving?
In the hallway, absolutely, yeah. There would definitely be
Those
cackling
noises?
below.
Okay.
And a fireball coming right behind you into the wall.
Room? He makes a fine point.
I'm still going to give it a go. I'm going to see if I can... I have a feeling it's a bad idea. I don't think it'll make it through. But I'm going to see if I can magic missile through the door
Nice, I respect it.
to the elemental.
Cool. Then, for the first time ever, I would like for you to roll to hit with magic missile.
Okay. Okay. There's no modifier here either.
It would be
Your spell
your
modifier.
regular
Would it be?
casting modifier, just like it would be for any other
Imagine
pot.
like firebolt, whatever your firebolt's modifier is.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, come on.
My map went down over on this end.
14.
14. Okay. In fact, there are what, 3 bolts?
Yeah.
I would like for you to make one for each.
Phew. That would be 10. And that would be 12.
Okay.
So 10, 12, 14.
Cool. All right. As you fire off, you recognize that these certainly normally would hit their intended targets, but as you fire off, it's as though these tendrils are attacking back to defend the creature within.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of them now instead takes the blow for it. And you watch as this kind of inky mass just... And with each shot that you spew forth, they just almost like they're bursting, like they're popping. You watch as they just splatter inward outside of that gate from you.
All 3 of them
All 3 of
unsuccessful.
them. As unfortunately, it doesn't meet even the elementals AC
How are the tendrils looking? Can we mess those up?
inside. They definitely just lost a little bit.
So there's more of a hole in that specific spot.
They are clearly trying to move
They're moving,
actively
right?
to try to refill the spot.
Yeah.
But in that moment, absolutely.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn to Cleave after that and say,
Ah, I see what happened.
I can't help him from here. And that's gonna end my turn.
Okay, cool. Then with that, it is the NPCs. So,
All right, there we go.
you guys obviously both hear now the laughter getting louder and louder.
The other side, okay.
They unfortunately have to full sprint just to get there. But there are 2 of these hourglasses left. So, you guys can clearly hear where they kind of pass by you and into the next area. They've not yet started attacking the hourglass, but they are definitely in the room beside you.
Okay.
Up on top with Rodrick, you can see now where this elemental starts to take shape, and it kind of pulls back at its head, and as it starts to extend a hand through what almost appears like hair, you recognize that these vines start to almost crawl out from atop its head and spill downward, cascading over its shoulders, and its features now start to sharpen as you can see now a proper chin, nose, and mouth begin to form on it, and it starts to step forward closer towards you before pushing off toward that side again and looking on, observing where its pangolin ally may be in this moment. After a brief glimpse downward, you can see where it, instead holding that arrow, takes a stance as though it's ready to attack you should you move on it. Cleave, you're up.
Man, I don't remember what items I still own. We keeps leaving things everywhere. I need, let me see. I know I had a bunch of bows. I probably wouldn't have had those with me.
You
The
still have
question
potions?
is whether or not I still have a sling. I've never had a potion.
No?
I have the
It's only Rodrick. That's
Rodrick.
crazy. That's
You still have
what potion do
potions,
you
right?
have?
Yeah.
no, I have I do have some new Jeff Jr. goop, I think.
Yeah.
I think I have some of that.
Sort
on
of a
me.
potion.
Okay,
I could
that's
maybe
definitely
do
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something, yeah. Golly. Yeah, all my tools on the screen are not showing up anymore. Like that. Why do you still have that?
All the what on the screen?
All these.
Oh, I don't know.
So I can't figure out how to like work the table really fast. But how close can I get to them on just a regular run?
To the left side elementals
doorway.
there?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much to the doorway.
If I want to do
Yeah,
battle.
exactly right. You'd get to like the lip of that doorway.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to do this earlier. Did I do long
Which
strider on anybody
Technically,
yet?
that
I've been
one
meaning
was
give
supposed
it
to be
all of
slightly
us.
further back. I don't believe so. So technically, from where you would be
It's
able to
weird,
reach,
right?
you would
Weird.
be able
Sorry.
to see the water elemental from there, and you could just barely peer into the room itself.
Did you get me there or?
So sorry, let me move you. You'd be right here.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, there's nothing I can do basically.
So you are
Unless I
20
have
feet
a-
roughly
Would you be able to
from,
bring that?
just under technically from the water
Fire
elemental.
over?
I definitely have a sling on my inventory. I just don't know whether or not I would still have that. Is that small enough that we should assume that it wasn't on a sandwalker?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, for sure.
All right. I will Dave and Goliath in reverse. These tiny little beings. I will just
Goliath to
Goliath
David with
with
a
a sling.
giant stone. Take the head of its fallen comrade.
And yeah. Oh no, yeah, for sure. If that'll happen with the Earth one at some point. But I'm just gonna take a regular little rock that I have and just
Okay.
see what we got here. Come on. No, there we go. All right, here we go. Oh! A natural 20. A real
That's
life.
fantastic.
All right.
All right.
And I'm aiming at whatever one I can see. You said the
water.
water.
The water, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna fling a rock at the water one and see what happens. See if that does anything. Gosh, I'm so scared it doesn't. So, that's gonna be what.
Poor
a D4?
Rodrick.
Yeah, it's a D4. You'll never believe. With my D4, I got a 4.
Nice.
Times
Okay.
2. That's an 8.
And do you have any
Plus,
modifiers with that?
Plus 1. So 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Like,
Okay.
Calagon, I don't have any more magic. I just have I have a rock. I have a rock.
Use the rock.
Take this rock.
Use it.
Starting to whip around. You watch as now this massive cloud appears there, and this creature, clearly clinging on for dear life at 1 HP,
No!
is now clawing its way towards this glass as it's slowly pressing its body against it. You can see now where there is this kind of fogged over imprint of its body against the hourglass.
All right, now let's see how far I can move. Oh, I used all my movement, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, that's
so.
okay. No, that's okay. This could still work depending on how far it moves. Flaming Sphere. Bonus action. I can move it 30 feet.
30 feet.
Okay, that would be almost to the center of the room you're in.
I'll go. Yeah, obviously not close to Calagon, but about that far.
It could be here.
Unless upon moving it immediately out of that doorway, I see other creatures. But if it's
Okay.
safe to assume that it's just them having teleported or
You
whatever,
wouldn't see anything currently.
okay, then I'll keep it there for now.
Remind me the size of the flaming sphere, because I think it's a lot bigger than I have it.
It's a
shown.
5-foot diameter sphere. It's not.
So that's about
Okay.
it.
All right.
It just takes up the entirety of the space that like a person's like movement would be.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Yes, sir. Gotcha.
But it deals damage to all the surrounding anybody within 5 feet of it. So the area of influence
Moving
is
it a
pretty
little
big.
further away from me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Directly under Calagon's feet, please. All right. Then, as this occurs,
It's got a
there is
15-foot
this
diameter of pain.
this light cackling still that continues onward from these creatures.
God, boy.
But it's not.
But they're the turn
you
right before me,
guys.
so okay. So we got time.
Yeah.
We got time.
It's not you guys who have to deal with the repercussions of the continued layer-based actions occurring up north, as now Rodrick, please make a strength saving throw for me.
Oh, that's like my worst thing.
Let's see.
Trust the die, Rodrick. Trust the die. Don't
8.
die. Dang it.
What was it?
8.
8.
8. Okay, cool.
Blimey with these last few rolls. All right.
Then
all right.
that is going to
Where we
be 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you fall prone as this massive wave of sand now breaks from above you in the ceiling, crashing down and hitting all over. And there's this moment where you recognize that there are sands all over, but you seem to think like, okay, it's sand, it can't be too bad, and kind of pushing through it just a little bit as it hits down. You feel now the full weight as this kind of additional wave starts to force you downward onto your knees and finally onto your side. And you can feel now where the sand starts shifting again from beside you as though crawling up from the lower grounds to your right. But you're up.
But I'm prone.
You're prone.
I can use half my movement to get up, though, right?
Correct.
Okay. So then I will use half my movement to get up, and with my additional 15, I'm going to get right there. Puts me right there. Perfect. I'm pulling out my Lash of Immolation.
Nice.
Yes!
I do love it.
I don't have that sound effect.
Oh, Manny.
We miss
Sorry,
Manny.
guys.
Okay, and I am going to swing on Buddy. And I'm currently still 10 feet away from him,
Uh-huh.
but my Lash of Immolation has that reach.
Nice. Does a 15 hit?
For me,
Yep.
it meets.
That means it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then as you start to approach, you watch as this creature now extending a foot in front of it as though to like lift it. It drops its leg and just lobs this arrow of yours right back at you. And just flying towards your chest, you're
look.
able to
You did.
slowly just kind of dodge most of the way as it now just stabs through a portion of your shoulder and still exits the other end. And that is going to be 5 points of piercing damage.
Oof. Ouch. With my own arrow. I'm gonna lob my lash at him
Fantastic.
for a 15 to hit.
15 does, in fact, hit.
Let's go. Fine.
As they say, meet it, beat it.
Let's go.
All
Okay.
right, okay, 15 hits it. That's good.
So then I am going to...
It's that one.
2, 3, 4.
Before he was burnt alive, lobbing his lashes at somebody just meant doing this. That was Rodrick's move before. He's had to change a lot.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
So
I'm ready.
it's going to be...
I think I did a decent job of
4 slashing.
Okay. Actually, right there.
Lied. 9 slashing.
Okay.
9 slash. Okay. Okay.
And then it's going to be 4 force damage.
Okay.
And then 4 fire damage.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right. As you now start to whip away at this thing, there's this loud burst as it's almost like an explosion at the end of your whip as you and you watch as this pop just hits and an arm just flies off of this thing. And as it hits the ground, it looks to you and it just looks down at the ground. And there's this low, almost like otherworldly sound that starts to erupt from it. And as though it opens its mouth to speak to you, it's not out of the mouth that you hear just... And you can see now where it lifts the other arm, and you hear a light click. And one of these 4 almost caskets within this room opens. And you can see where these whitened sands now start to float up out of it and come towards this elemental. And as they start floating up towards it, you can see now where it starts to form a separate arm in its place. Calagon.
Weird.
Great.
Alright, I see this flaming thing coming at me. I see those things, so I'm going to run pretty much right next to Cleave. Because that's as far as I can go. And I'm going to say, duck! Do I get to see...
Where?
Can I see? Can I see anything else in there, or just the water one?
Just the water from that angle.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna. Hold on. I think I asked this previously. Is there any are there any torches or anything on the wall, or any kind of?
None here. No.
Okay, so all the light comes from. Okay. Then I'm just gonna say duck and try to firebolt over his head to that water elemental.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right. Does
Now they look more like dragons.
4, 5, 6, 7, 17 hit?
Yes, it does, sir.
Cool. Then I'm going to hit that guy. Hopefully, whatever works. 5 should take care of it.
Yep.
Cool.
As it now, you hear this clanging as this ice erupts from it, and this body just turns to a cloud of frost, essentially.
Cool.
And ice shards start to shatter elsewhere. Some of that clanging clearly coming from the glass that it's hitting into as this creature explodes against it.
Okay. Now, did his ice shards hit the fire one?
Hard for you to say, given the fact that you can't see the fire one from where you're
Okay.
at.
Well, I'm hoping it does. That's gonna end my turn.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So, after Calagon is, of course, the NPCs, who are going to start beating on the hourglass before you. One far more effective than the other. You definitely hear where there are constant clangs against the glass, as though just getting pummeled by a creature. Ding, 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 and you hear a light cracking.
There's a kraken made out of light in here now. This is ridiculous.
On the top side, Rodrick, as now this creature starts to pull this arm towards it, it just kind of holds it out in front of you, and you can see now between its fingers its look of surprise. And you can see now where everything else is this odd amalgamation of different materials and elements. This one, it's as though his hand itself is made up of bone. And it simply reaches out in front, and it's going to attempt to grab you by the face.
Oh, wow.
Vec, not much.
Hold on, let me double check something, because I think that might be just shy with a 14 to hit.
Just shy.
Fantastic. In that
Rodrick
moment,
could
it's
never.
as though it isn't even attacking full force. It just kind of reaches out as though to test, and it's not so much focused on you as it is on its new limb.
Does it
And-
have 10-foot reach?
In its surprise, well, it would just move forward. Although, yeah, both of you guys are large. Doesn't really matter. But in its surprise, it kind of offsets, and you can see where it looks over towards another casket. And on the opposite side of the room, you look over, and briefly, in the moment where it's reaching over, you are able to follow by sightline. The latch itself is this small little diamond on the front of the casket. And as it flips up, you recognize that one of them was of water, and that this one says earth. As it now lifts, and it starts now pulling sands from this casket as well.
Destroy its hourglass. I'm tired of them doing it to yours.
Can I even hear you?
I don't know. I'm right.
Probably not.
I'm pretty close to the.
You should be able to hear
stairs.
him still, yeah. Yeah, Cleave, you're up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna run up in here,
Cool.
and I'm gonna pull my mace back out and give it like a swing, and then around the back, and just like hit one of these things. Just like a-
Okay, which one are you going
like I'm
for? The
swinging
closer
a
one, then I
baseball
take
over
it?
here, just-
Fire?
Yeah, I was swinging at the fire one. I want to hit the fire one right up against the wall.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, I do not have an awesome to hit bonus. I have a total of 10.
Total of 10. All right, as you start swinging and you reach
supposed to
over
fight in animal
and you
form,
kind
I
of
forgot.
swing just over across your face, and as it goes, you watch as its flapping wing is like right in the path, and it just flaps back right in time to just barely dodge the edge of your mace there.
All right. Then I want to jump in between it and the hourglass and just hug the hourglass.
Oh.
Wow, bold. Okay, I will say they are attacking it actively, but make a strength check for me just to determine if you'd be able to just kind of force your way in between the two of them.
I was assuming it would just be pain, just burning. Oh my goonies. 5.
5. Similar, but it does still win. As you kind of start pushing your way through, you do feel like the heat coming off your shoulder now, and almost instinctively pushing away, it's able to worm itself just closer in between the two of you guys.
Bonus action, I just want to move this thing closer to like their path where they'd have to go to get into the next room.
Okay, cool.
And that's it.
All right, with that, once again, Rodrick, as you're now combating this transformation elemental, you see for a moment these claws reach up from the sands behind you.
Oh my goodness.
And just slam down briefly. And as it does, this ripple starts to come up from the sands. And go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw.
$16.
16, fantastic. As this now column presses outward towards you, it's very similar to the spikes that had previously come your way, and just suddenly you were able to kind of catch it through noise alone as you now turn, glance, and jump just out of the way for this pillar to hit just past you and slowly retract back down into the ground, vanishing with the pangolin. You're up.
I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, 2 versus 1, not exactly a fair fight. And I'm going to pull out my Lash of Immolation. And I'm dropping Hunter's Mark and I'm casting Zephyr Strike.
Nice. Okay.
So, upon casting Zephyr Strike, I will attack the Transformation Elemental with advantage.
Cool.
$25? No, 26 to hit.
Yep.
All right. Then I will. Let's just go piece by piece. So we're gonna start off. It's gonna be 9 slashing damage.
Okay.
It's going to be 5 fire damage.
Good.
7 force damage. And then one more. It's going to be another 7 force damage. At which point I will retreat 60 feet away from the creature.
Very good.
It's so broken. It's so broken.
Did I give you Long Strider at least?
What?
It
Did I
is
give you
pretty
Long
darn
Strider?
scary.
Are you
No,
running
you didn't
faster?
end up giving me Long Strider. Remember, we never did buffs.
Man.
Cracking down at the center of this elemental,
all over
you
there.
watch as in one fell swoop, just this massive burst of elements at the very tip. And in this spark of light, you kind of almost yourself instinctively squint and partially look away, and just barely out of the corner, you watch as it now splits down the middle. And as you start to kind of back off, you can see now as that split, instead, those arms fall to the floor and start to take form all their own, as instead of a single elemental, it splits now into 2 other forms.
Nice.
The 2 remaining forms that you've yet to see. But luckily, to your credit, you will not have to face potentially up to 5 creatures all at once. However, there are now the pangolin, ant, and salamanders on the field currently.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Calagon, you're up.
Where's the penguin?
Taking a run in right behind Cleave. I'm gonna see the sights in here. Still 2 of them attacking. And I am going to cast Magic Missile level 2. So that's
Cool.
2 magic missiles for each.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, what?
Let me double check. Yeah, Joel, forgive me, I've discredited you. You would have in fact killed the fire elemental.
Killed?
I forgot that actually it was already very low and all, so that
No,
one
but
should
I
be
missed
done.
it.
Oh, was that right?
No, yeah, it wasn't that I.
Was
that
yours? Oh, that's what it was. You just.
I just
Okay,
missed
no,
this
forgive
one.
me, forgive
No,
me.
the first one I had gotten down to 1 HP,
That's what it was. Okay.
and this one I just missed.
I don't know why I thought that was the one. I was like, wait a second.
Okay. So I'm gonna see these 2 hopefully die. These 2, let's see. So one is gonna get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the other one's gonna get 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is with what?
So one
Level
magic
2
missile.
Magic missile.
There's gonna be 2 for each because I'm doing it at level 2. So there's 4 magic missiles. One is gonna be 9, and I guess I should pick one, right? I'm gonna say the fire one.
The fire one is very beat up.
I'm gonna say the
I'll
earth
say
one
that much.
is gonna take the 9, and then the fire will take the 6.
Okay. Yeah. The fire elemental looks like it's like on its last leg. It's like barely there.
Okay.
Now that you're able to get a good visual on it, it does look like it's steaming from the ice that had previously pierced it.
Ah. Huh.
It is
Nice.
Well,
much,
either way,
much
I-
smaller.
Just running in, doing that magic missile.
Okay. Then that one would for sure burst.
Okay. And then the earth took 9. What did I say? 9 or 8? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the earth took 9. Fire took 6. Earth took 9.
Okay. Then the earth also now taking this splash damage as this fire spreads out from it. Cleave, please do make a dexterity saving throw
Oh,
for
here
me.
we go. Yeah, they're all exploding.
Oh.
That one's not bad. But my bonuses need work though. 14.
Okay. So, I would like for you to now choose. Would you like to dodge it and take less damage, or continue pushing in the way in the speed of your dexterity saving throw to prevent the hourglass
Oh,
from
then
taking
for
as
sure
much
that.
damage,
Yeah,
but
I'm
you
taking
take the
damage.
full damage?
I'm taking damage.
Okay.
That is my role.
Fantastic.
Even though
Then
I'm not a good
pushing in the middle as it now, you start to feel it lose its grip as you're kind of shoving your body weight into it and slowly just, and as these bursts go through it, it's as though 2 missiles strike and then the other 2 continue through it, hitting now the earth elemental behind it, but you're able at the last second to kind of push in and feel as this burning sensation starts to ring over your ear, over your neck, and over your shoulder.
Ah, that burns. Not quite as bad as it will if I find out these are real creatures.
Pretty good.
Please be fake. Please be fake.
Okay. With that,
I'm just gonna say, where are these things coming from? And then that's,
I am gonna
then
roll
my
for
turn.
it to see what's going on with this one. Okay. You watch now as this earth elemental starts beating on this thing, and with this last hit, you watch as it punches and its fist now protrudes through the glass of the hourglass, and yet, without shattering, this thing seems stuck there for a brief moment.
Okay. All right.
Rodrick. Up top, you
My
are
turn?
now faced with 3 very large creatures, all of which are going to start moving closer and closer towards you, as the ant and the salamander are clearly quite forward in their pursuit. I'll move that one a little off. And facing you for the first time in quite some time now, as it crawls up from the sands, you watch as the pangolin reappears and starts crawling its way over towards you.
Come on, dude. What is this?
This is a simple hunt. That's all this is. As the pangolin is now going to reach you, and it is going to take a very direct attack towards you for the first time. That is a 19
Ooh.
to hit.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. And that is 8 points of slashing damage as this thing claws up at you, kind of just barreling your way and coming down onto you. It's as though it's just sharpened stone coming across your chest.
Ow.
8 points of slashing. Ow.
But with that, aside from hearing a little bit more cackling coming off the east hallway, there's nothing more to be said of the NPC's interactions in that time. Sorry, this thing is having some hard time with the internet right now, so forgive me on the map front.
Today.
But we definitely still know where you're at currently. So, Cleave, go ahead and pick up where you are in that room with the other final earth elemental still stuck into the hourglass.
Okay, it went for. Okay, I'm gonna go on the other side of it and say, Calagon, come confuse this, flank it for me. I'll wait for you. And I start swinging around my mace. And then I don't think I'm gonna do anything for bonus. I think I'm just gonna wait for Calagon to come flank it so I can just mess it up.
Pretty cool. Alright. So then as you hold on to that one, we're gonna go back up to the top of initiative where oh yeah. Here's the real fun. Rodrick.
Yeah.
Make first for me a strength saving throw.
Come on with it. Dude, you guys letting them destroy the Earth Crystal is really messing me up.
We didn't know the mission for a long time.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
5.
Okay. Then you are once again knocked prone, taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the sands now continue to pour out as though they're tracking you. At first, what seemed just like cracks in the ceiling you recognize now are being made by these creatures surrounding you now, as they're all honing in on your position. You're up, but down. Go ahead and start your turn prone.
Okay, starting my turn prone. I'm going to use 15 feet of movement to get back up.
Okay.
I'm taking out my Lash of Immolation, and I am also casting, again, Zephyr Strike.
Cool. And that does prevent them from taking opportunity attacks, right?
Correct. So
Solid.
I am going to go for
This
the
guy.
Pangolin with a hit. Please, God. 17.
17 hits.
Ah, thank you. Okay. So I'll start doing all the damage first.
Please do.
I'm so sorry, I just remembered.
You were able to one-shot the Axolotl. Let's see what you can manage on the pangolin here.
How much you
Alright.
can hit for?
How much I
That
got?
is going to be...
How much damage
So it's
did
going to be
Joel
6 slashing, which I'm assuming is going to be halved
very
anyway.
Something.
So 6 slashing.
take? For some reason, I want to say 4. I don't know if that's right.
I felt like it was more.
Was
1
it?
fire. Of course, these would be bad rolls. 1 second. 10. Okay, 9 force.
Okay, all right.
Better.
How big is the die for that? What is that for? What is the force damage for?
Is that from
Well,
Zephyr?
part of my mask that I'm wearing in my
Okay.
ether form, I get D10 of force.
Okay,
And
all
then
right.
the additional force damage is from my Zephyr Strike.
Ah, so part
So
of it is
I
for
have
that.
one last roll of
dope.
force,
Super cool.
which is
Man.
going to be an additional D8.
Amazing.
5.
5 points
That's
of force.
cool.
Fantastic.
And at which point I will
Craziness.
move past him
Cool.
and... Give me a second. I need to find a way to bottleneck these guys. So I have 45 feet of movement. Okay. I'll be able to just wrap around the ant.
Okay. Show it. Let's see what you got.
Oh, wow.
Bold. Alrighty.
Not bold. I'm resistant to force damage. Thought out.
Nice.
All right.
Very slick.
Try to do everything with a
Good
very
tactics,
specific
man.
reason.
Yeah, no, this is good. I'm liking it. And
So you want
obviously,
me to flank
no
with you?
opportunity attacks being made against you.
Pretty sure
So with
said
that,
cackling is coming from the
we're
east
gonna
side.
pick back up. Second initiative is Calagon.
You said cackling coming from the east side again? Or
Yes, you do hear something coming from lower.
Just come run over, stand there long enough for me to swing, and then run back. Hopefully that makes a difference.
okay. I'm gonna run over and flank with Cleave.
At that exact moment, I'm just gonna swing. Dang, I didn't need it. It's gonna be a 19 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, definitely hits.
As it hits, all right. Let me see.
They have a very low AC overall, each one of them.
The mace is a d6.
It's fairly low.
Okay. 6 total bludgeoning damage. Mace to the face.
Okay.
Face mace.
Yeah, that is
What's it doing?
just enough despite its resistance. As you
Wow.
now just
True. I
and
forgot
watch
what
as
it
it crumbles and its arm now just stayed stuck in that little opening, that hole of the hourglass. You recognize that should this thing take any more hits, it's done for.
Okay. And it doesn't look
Oh,
worth
it's not dead.
No, I'm sorry. The Earth Elemental
Hourglass.
is dead. The hourglass is
Was
almost dead.
very, very close. What damage did I take? I don't remember. Do you remember? You have any idea?
don't
I don't have
remember.
like an earthy idea. I don't even have like an estimate. Like what kind of damage do they give out when they?
when they exploded.
Was it from? It was from the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, that should have just been, I believe, a D4 of damage.
Okay.
Maybe I just didn't even say it.
For some
I don't
reason, I
think you
thought it
did,
was
but
a lot, but I guess yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Let's just decide. You've taken now 1 point of fire damage.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh wait,
But damage
Is it
is
more than
damage,
that?
and I have to make a wisdom saving throw for.
I think it was
concentration.
more than that last time, but that's fine. Doesn't matter.
Maybe you did say 4 because Nick said he thought he heard 4.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it was
take 4.
I think it was 4.
But I still have it's a 10 minimum on the concentration check, right?
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I got a natural 1, so I no longer have flaming sphere.
Fantastic.
We're gonna need that. And the
That is
hourglasses, we wouldn't know how to repair them if.
Not off the top of your head, unless you know something about repairing hourglasses.
Have we made glass
that
before with
shoot-
fire in
I'm
sand?
just
Magical
gonna look
sands
up
away?
wide-eyed. I was asking if I did when I put the flaming sphere into the glass, into the sand on the ground.
Oh.
I was like, hopefully I make a little bit of glass.
It would have to be stupid hot.
But
Okay.
I mean, to hurt somebody 2d6 is worth within
Certainly
one turn
not
is
bad.
pretty hot. Pretty hot, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. You hold a fire on somebody for 6 seconds. That should do a lot, and especially
Yeah,
when it's the size of their body. Presumably, this is a very cold fire.
Nah, it's within 5 feet of you. It deals that damage for 6
Okay.
seconds, or if it
Still
touches
not
you
bad.
for a moment. As soon as I bonus
Okay.
action hit it to somebody, so
That's not bad.
That's pretty hot.
We're gonna have to like
Um,
math that out after the stream and find out exactly how bad that would be.
All
All right. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say.
Just that I widen my eyes and I say, my flaming sphere is gone.
And I'm just gonna run back to the other side. I'm gonna use the dash action to get as far as I can to the next side. I use 5 feet to get there. I'm gonna say 50 left over. So I'll be about right
That
there.
seems reasonable.
It's about right.
Cool.
Yep, and that's gonna end my turn.
Alrighty. Then with that, that is of course their turn. It is not enough for them to do much of anything, much like before, but you would see now as more elementals start rolling up into this
Oh my
space.
goonies, what's
How'd they
going on here?
How'd they get there already?
They were
Dang it.
just in the hall, slowly moving closer and closer,
Just
but
chilling.
they weren't in your visual
Okay.
until this moment. That is unfortunately as far as they make it, though, in that time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get rid of that guy. He's gone. Rodrick, on the other hand, is facing a much greater threat, a much larger version of what you guys are facing down here. As the ant is, of course, right up on you. It is going to go ahead and make its attack. Coming your way, Rodrick Elwood. I'm so sorry. With a natural 20.
Checking out the stupid AC systems cost me my second animal.
Golly.
So that's why now I can't turn into an animal.
Can you do the flaming sphere again, though?
3 points. Okay. This ant now grips around your waist
This is what I have.
as it starts to pinch and squeeze down on you. You can feel the pressure of its bite coming in from behind and almost starting to stab. It instead just feels like this weighted force surrounding you and pinpointed especially in the back. And that's going to do,
No, there's still.
first and foremost,
Yeah, that's it, though.
No.
Okay.
okay, that's not so bad.
Gotcha.
10 points of force damage, but it's also going to fling you 20 feet into the air as it does so.
Okay. I had two options of reaction casting right now. I'm going to choose my reaction casting for Featherfall because I'm not trying to take 2d10.
Okay.
So I'm going to react cast Featherfall. And my 10 points of force damage, I'm resistant to force currently.
I think it's
so is it
just
halved or is that already halved?
multiple.
That would be, you can now have it.
Because they're
Okay,
all
so
coming
Yeah,
from
it did
so
a
5 points
surprisingly
total.
low amount of damage in relation to how bad it could have been.
So then 5 points total?
Yeah. How you looking so far?
I still have... I haven't even gotten down
With
through
this
my
one?
temp hit points.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't gotten through the other two creatures here.
Well, hold up. 1 second. He flung me 20 feet in the air.
Uh-huh.
He kills it. They don't come
The whole
thinking
round
that
lasts
they will be
6 seconds.
That is
Am I-
correct.
Have I even gotten to the ground yet by the time that they are attacking me?
You fall, I believe, what, 60 feet per round? Is that accurate?
60 feet per round.
Like
Well,
on a
each
regular
round is
fall?
how long? Each round is 6 seconds?
Is 6 seconds, yes. So it stands to reason per second you're falling about 10 feet per second, which means that even if it's at the last second of the round, you'd have still, let's just say that took the first half, and you'd have fallen throughout the second half.
Okay.
By the end of the turn, you'd have still fallen the remaining.
All right, so I've already
Distance.
landed back, but I have not taken
And you are
any
not prone
damage.
and you would not take any damage, both of which are great for you.
Did he fling me straight up or fling me...
It would be straight up, yeah.
Okay.
But the other two are now here. And not quite flanking yet, but you can tell that they're gearing up to as they're continuing to move. First, I'm going to make an attack with the pangolin with a grand total of 7 to hit.
Yes. Thank God.
Second, however, comes from the salamander with a grand total of 13 to hit.
Missed.
Golly, okay. Rodrick, always fortunate, and so far only taking damage from the ant this round. However, surrounded by all three, and I don't know how many Zephyr Strikes you could have, but this would be the time if ever. Cleave, you're back up.
Oh man. I'm gonna go only as far as into this hallway, I guess. I never even know anymore. Nah. Here's what I need.
You do know we're level 3, right, Tristan?
I also gave you some busted equipment.
Yeah, I know. But we're still level 3.
You're
I'm gonna
doing
do-
great. You're killing it in there. This is dope.
I'm gonna do that thing that Muay Thai fighters do before they really get into it and they smack
They
their
just like-
knees. They get,
Yeah!
I'm gonna cast a long strider.
Sick.
And then just start running. I want to do a 40 feet movement from where I was. Let me measure that out. It only gets me about, wait, you turn it off. About here. Well, I'm going to angle it so I can at least, if they run past me, I can do that. Wow. And I don't think I have any useful bonus actions for now, so I think that might have to be it again. Like, we've got to cut him off.
Okay. Then with that, as now these elementals starting to surround both Rodrick and pass by Calagon here, pressing towards this hourglass, we're gonna take a quick break and pick back up with you guys defending yourselves and this hourglass.
Let's go.
Good luck, guys. You guys are doing great, but I'm very curious to see how Rodrick holds up on this fight here now. We'll see you back here in 10. Hello and welcome back as the 3 out of 4 horsemen continue their battle through the Elwood crypt. And so, fighting forward, we have Rodrick Elwood now pinned on all fronts here by the salamander, the ant, and the pangolin, all fighting him head on within this upper inner chamber. And now Calagon and Cleave now facing a few more elementals down below. We are going to go ahead and start right back up top, where, fortunately for Rodrick, only one of these three's hourglasses has been broken thus far. And so, only one of their lair actions is going to go off, as at the start of this turn, the pangolin is feeling pretty good about itself. It's not going to use any defensive strategies as its lair action. It's instead going to continue to try to put Rodrick in a worse spot. Rodrick, go ahead and make your strength check. Your strength saving throw. It wants you on your feet so that they can tear into you. Wants you on your butt, rather.
Bro!
Uh-oh.
1.
Oh.
And 2 points of bludgeoning. As now the sands start to pour out from behind, coming down from this hourglass even, and kind of starting to trip you up as some of it starts pouring down from above. And all 3 of these creatures now scurrying over your body as you fall to the ground. But, as always, you are, in fact, at the top of initiative.
Okay. Here we go. So, I am going to... I'm going to initiate Hunter's Mark with a bonus action, and I'm going to place it on the pangolin.
On which?
On the pangolin.
On the pangolin. Very good. Okay.
So, I am going to take out my Lash of Immolation and go to attack the pangolin.
Okay. You would recognize from last time that there was a burn mark and a general divot of protrusion where the whip would have pulled into the pangolin's body, but yet clearly it didn't leave that score mark that you're used to seeing from the slashing coming through.
Correct. Okay.
What you got?
That is a 24 to hit.
Let's go.
Do continue.
Okay. So let's go with all the damage types. Okay. 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
Three fire damage.
Very good.
3 force damage. 10 force damage.
10 additional force damage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you now... that same loud crack as it now just slaps into the chest of the pangolin easily makes one of the loudest noises you've heard, as now the crashing of stone erupts from it, and you watch as this thing just scatters across the ground.
Yes!
Nice.
All right.
Was I significantly over his thing, or did I just meet it?
That was pretty high over its health, actually, from what it had left. It only had, I believe, 13 health left, but it ignored the slashing entirely. It was immune.
Okay.
Did we?
That's
hilarious.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to try to move anywhere or anything?
Absolutely not.
Fair.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Then Calagon, you're up next.
All right. I'm gonna see these things turn the corner. I'm just gonna get super mad. I'm just gonna go right in front of them all. And use breath weapon, which is a 15-foot cone, I believe. Yep, 15-foot cone.
Cool.
Dex saving throw of 12 towards all of them. Does it hit all of them? Is it 15?
Let me see here.
I'll move wherever I need to.
That's a 15-foot cone right there. So from there, looks like he just...
I'm gonna get right in that earth one's face. Whatever I can do to get close. I'm just gonna go straight to the earth one, angle towards everyone else, and breath weapon.
It's a little tight. I'll say this. Make a strength check opposing the earth elemental to see if you can push into its space in order to do so. Otherwise, you'll only hit 2 out of the 3.
Ooh, okay. Strength saving throw. Strength saving check. Sorry.
It did pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
12.
What's your strength modifier?
-1.
Nice. You win because it has a lower strength modifier. It rolled a 15, but it still has a pretty pretty chintzy
Yay.
strength.
All right, dex saving throw 12.
Okay.
Roll them.
Let's see.
Roll that beautiful bean
First
footage.
up, we have a 6. Oh wait. A 17.
Okay, that one passes.
Ooh, and an 18.
Dang it.
Wow.
All right, 2 of
So,
them pass.
forcing your way in out of anger, you kind of just push your head into its space and let out right into the earth elemental's face, blocking most of the damage from the other 2.
Oh, come on.
It's rough, buddy.
2 damage, 1 for the ones that.
2 points of
Yeah.
force damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
one-
best case one is 2.
Yeah.
The other 2
Okay. That's
are
awesome.
blimey.
That's
All right.
not cool.
That's all right. You got close enough for a flank situation. What is that?
Oh, that's a 1.
All right.
Yeah, I got close enough for a flank at least. All
Cool.
right, and that's gonna end my turn.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, with that,
it's
you
their
know that
turn
these
next,
ones,
though. Yeah.
unfortunately,
Mhm.
are not especially concerned with either of you two. And they are going to continue their path forward, heading on in toward that hourglass, as is now completely open. The first 2 are able to make it on just their movement for the turn. All 3 of them will pass by you if you would like to make an opportunity attack towards any one of the 3 of them, Calagon.
Just 1?
Just one.
Just 1, huh? I guess I'll do the yeah, I guess I'll do the fire one, right? Should I do the fire one or yeah?
No.
Or the water? Earth?
Just 'cause
I
the
thought you
first
were gonna
one-
grab the earth.
Well, I don't know that I can. So if
Okay,
anything-
the earth one.
Okay.
I'm gonna opportunity attack that guy. Sheesh.
Neither of us is awesome with that.
What is the modifier for that again? Just the hand to hand?
Probably minus.
Yeah, right.
If you're not proficient, then it's only your strength modifier towards.
Okay.
Swing
It's
with.
the.
I would be swinging with that sword.
New sword? Oh, that's like definitely a minus.
Probably
just-
minus
I think
1,
it's just
right?
minus
Yeah.
1, yeah.
So
So it's gotta be your
6.
strength for that one.
So 6 total to hit.
Yep.
It's tough.
Unfortunately, not quite getting it as these small things scurry past you. There are a
Those
lot
things,
more
and now we're
sands
gonna
here, and
be
it's
close to
hard
either.
to catch the earth elemental in between it all, as it's now
Gotcha.
shifting through, almost completely masking its figure for a moment.
Do we hear more cackling from other directions, or is it just these ones?
These ones are definitely loud. Make a perception check. I'll allow that.
Do I still have movement though after the?
boy,
Or no? Because no, it's their turn. Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry.
13?
13. You would hear an echoed laughter still from outside of your current chamber.
Which direction? Which?
Hard to say on that front.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
My goodness. Oh wait, is that? Oh yeah, this is just their turn now in full. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's not great then. Oh, okay, that's not so bad. That's really not so bad. Okay. The Earth Elemental is the only one to get to it and kind of trip and hit it with just like one light thud.
Okay.
It definitely seems to hurt the glass, but not very much from what you guys have seen. Giving you guys just a little bit of time on that front. Rodrick, on the other hand, up top, having done all that he can do. You chose not to do any movement but you were prone at the start of your last turn.
Well, yeah, my movement would have been to get up.
Okay, I'd
I
imagine
just didn't
so.
want to move away.
Yeah. Okay, just want to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the ant will move across the way, and you recognize that they are tactically now flanking, and it's as though the salamander reaches down at you with its tail as though to try to whip around your foot. Okay. With a 20 dirty and a 19 to hit from the salamander and the ant now flanking you.
Okay.
That's going to be a hefty amount of damage coming from the salamander for starters. 12 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
And 8 points of force damage.
So 4.
Yep. Down to 4. As you can feel now, the salamander kind of grabbing at your leg and pulling, you can feel the stinging burn as it starts to tug away. The ant once again grabs hold of you, now at the shoulder, and it's as though they're starting to try to pull you apart.
Am I grappled?
Not currently, as they now just start to kind of pull back, and you are able to fight it to some extent. Cleave.
How hoistable does the earth elemental look? Does it seem possible to pick it up?
It's within the sands around it, so it's hard to see based on the bottom half of its form how much you could necessarily grab at it, but the top half is certainly solid.
Oh, gosh. All right, I'll do this in reverse. I'm going to run up on these guys right here and drop my mace on the ground, and then I'm just going to unclip the, the pot that we cook all our foods in from my backpack, and I want to just butterfly net the fire elemental onto the earth elemental.
The fire onto the earth?
Yeah, I want to just swat them out of the sky into a pot and just hold them on top of the earth.
Okay.
Pot's gonna get hot.
That would technically be 2 separate grapples. Using...
All I would be doing, unless I get assistance or anything, would be a shove action. I just want to burn my hands. I'm just shoving the fire elemental onto the earth.
I see. Okay. I thought you were trying to enclose them.
I'd have to get there. I would think probably over the course of more than one turn, or maybe if Calagon helps.
Yeah, I mean, let's see it.
All right. A 13 strength.
Let's see its potential acrobatics here.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
You hear this loud ding as you now smack this into the base of the pot and slowly start to pull over. And while you don't get a good hold over it and you immediately start to feel the heat coming through, you're able to knock it last second into the other one.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
I will still say, as part of that, roll to hit using a fire elemental.
Okay, sure.
I don't know what's going on with this session.
Am I proficient in fire elementals?
You are not proficient in the pot holding the fire elemental.
All right, then it is a 15.
Okay. That's shockingly not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
You wouldn't think that you would do so well with a random thing, but, you know,
It actually does say I am
Cleave did
proficient
have
in
to
cook's
live
utensils. So.
on his own.
No way. That's great.
What's the rule there? I don't know.
Well,
Oh my
It works for
gosh.
Samwise Gamgee.
You've cooked quite a few things. This is the first time you've ever tried cooking Earth Elemental.
And
And,
Rapunzel, I believe.
It seemingly begins to work. I'll say... Yeah, go ahead and roll a d4. Just roll a d4 of damage.
Calagon can help me hold it down. Yes, a 4! Can I
Fantastic.
make one final request? I know maybe I'm pushing it. I have Savage Attacker, which means when I rolled my natural 20, I was supposed to roll another damage die of the original weapon, which would have wiped out that elemental without us focusing another turn on it.
Which one was
So-
this against?
Back when I hit it was in the fire room. What did I swing on? I think it was the fire elemental. No, I missed the fire
Oh,
elemental.
but it was
the
a
earth
whole
one.
separate set of elementals and everything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say we're
I
gonna
was just gonna say,
have to
like, what if
ignore
I
that
just
for
threw
the
another
time.
die in there just cause it costs us another turn of fighting those
That is a
elementals.
shame. So, as Savage Attacker, you just roll one additional damage die of whatever the damage is, essentially.
Yes, yeah. So in this case, maybe another D4.
I do like
Just to
I
save
do
it,
like
you know?
kindness dice. 11 or higher, and you convince me. Just flat roll.
How about this?
Nope.
Can you use his persuasion modifier?
It's literally a 10.
I remain unconvinced.
That's so sad.
What's your persuasion modifier? Add that.
Top of the initiative.
It's a +1. It
All
is
right.
literally
Moving up top,
tragic.
we've
It's okay.
got
It was worth a
no
shot.
layer actions. Simply starting with Rodrick Elwood.
Let's go, Rodrick.
Okay. I'm
Getting
going to
gripped.
use my action
Both.
to disengage,
Wow. Okay.
and I'm going to move my 30 feet of movement speed, which allows me to go up and bottleneck them right here.
Ah, clever.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to change forms from ether to fire.
Very nice. Okay. I like it. I like it.
Should I just attack the water?
It does still put
can,
them right
but
about
if you
where
help
you'd
me
be
hold
if they
the
go, but
thing,
for now,
that'll
we're gonna
allow us
move on
capture them
to
both.
Calagon's turn.
But the other one's still gonna be.
Yes.
Uh-oh. What are we
Yes.
planning over
So
here?
would that be like a bonus action? Maybe I could use it, or is that gonna be?
I'll ask him, I guess.
I see you guys moving. What you got?
I'm gonna go and see the scene in front of me, which is Cleave holding down these elementals. Would I be able to help him with a bonus action, or is that gonna be an action?
That would be an action.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm just gonna help Cleave. Obviously you're probably like calling me over.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like,
so
quick, hold him down, hold the other handle. It's just like a cauldron, handles on both sides.
yep, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Do you have advantage because we're flanking?
No, because there are two of them against the two of you guys, and you
they're
weren't
little.
technically grappling
It's like holding wraps
initially.
with a
but
pot.
I will say to still just make it a flat grapple check
Okay.
against it. Go ahead and roll your attack.
11.
How big are they?
And do you have any modifiers towards strength or otherwise there? Towards athletics, perhaps?
No, this is
negative
why I
1,
was
10.
campaigning for. Yeah, there we go. It's minus 1.
Fantastic.
Should have said no.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. You do have a modifier, but it's a negative modifier.
Yeah.
That is always unfortunate. As you now start to kind of pull down on it, you recognize that the fluttering is pushing up on this one pot, and just in time, the earth elemental is able to scurry its way just out and around. And Cleave, you're now feeling the heat. As Calagon, you can now tell, even just from the other handle, that this pot's starting to get hot very rapidly. Anything else for you?
Ow! That's it.
Very good.
That's my turn.
Okay, cool. Then with that, I would say for the first time in Retaliation, this fire elemental, now feeling that it's kind of backed into a corner of some sort, is just going to start to overheat. And as it
okay.
starts burning away and pushing
Give me a torch.
forward, I would like each of you guys, I'll say to make a dexterity saving throw to release the pot before getting burnt, essentially.
21.
21. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
Golly,
Dirty
guys. All right, I'll say that it is within enough time that you guys are both able to recognize that it definitely could have burnt, but you watch as this thing starts to glow red from the center, and as it quickly goes, you guys both just drop, and you watch as now it starts to float in air, and this little pot just slowly overturns and just ding, 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 ding.
It was an idea.
The earth elemental, on
Next
the other
idea.
hand, and the water elemental are going to do, okay, fairly bad for one, a little bit better for the other. Adding a total of 3 points of more damage onto your hourglass there.
Okay.
It's starting to get cracks in it.
Better idea.
I wish what they did down there had a positive impact on me. Like, it literally just has either a negative or nothing.
They are helping you.
They're not helping me in any way.
If you didn't
I
have
gotta
them,
remember
you would just be
to
out of
use that.
hourglasses and
That's
then having to
not
fight
help.
everything.
That's not help.
It's some
Oh
pretty
my
good help.
gosh. That would have been so
So-
smart.
The salamander and the ant quickly scurry their way up.
Sorry.
You recognize that the ant does not actually need to use stairs. It is an ant. And it immediately just crawls over top the ledge here as they now both start pushing up
would've
on
been
towards this platform surrounding you once more. But yet not quite flanking you as you have so strategically planned out. But with that, we're going to make a roll for it. First, the salamander with a 23 to hit. And an ant with the 19.
Dang. He's got
You know we're
Rodrick's
losing,
dice.
right? Like bad. Like we're not
losing?
winning.
How's your health looking?
Not good.
Oh, well. Can you
That
throw a
was
good berry through that
awful
door?
No, apparently.
Yeah, right?
We have to
It's
start
just
fighting
to
the door.
strengthen the door.
That's going to be
Yeah.
8 points of fire damage
Halved.
and 8 points of force damage.
So then 8 plus 4. I'm down.
12. You say you're down?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
This is rough.
Also,
This is
I will add, just for the sake of adding it, help. The definition of help, right? If I'm cleaning the house and my daughter doesn't make more of a mess, that's not helping me.
So that
But if
would
I'm
be the
cleaning my house
case.
and she helps me clean, that would be helping
That
me.
is true. The problem is that
Okay.
the other part is an inevitability. So they're helped by holding back they are acting as the floodgate, preventing these things from happening. With that, Calagon, you're up.
Yeah, you're kind of on your own, man. Once you walk through there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that was the NPCs. Forgive
Yeah,
me. Cleave, you're up.
Okay, alright. I don't know. Your health is good though, right? We're
Yeah,
healthy over here at
I'm
least.
super healthy.
Oh gosh. All right. Yeah. I mean, we're flanking him at least. I'm gonna just start ping ping. I'm gonna start hitting him with my mace. I'm gonna pick that back up. I'm leaving the pot where it is. Forget that thing. And I'm gonna swing it at whoever seems to be doing the most damage on the hourglass machine. Oh no. Yeah. So that the earth for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll swing it at the. Oh no. It's good at dealing with my thing. No, I'm swinging it at the fire thing. All right. Swinging it at fire. Here we go. Advantage for flanking, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Now I'm gonna use Savage Attacker, buddy.
Very good.
That's a natural 20,
Nice.
and we're gonna swing one of these, which was a 1. Another one of these because it's Savage Attacker, which is also a 1. This is so brutal, and they both get doubled.
Did you just...
So 4 points of damage?
4 points plus my 5 points total of bludgeoning damage. That was the saddest thing that's happened to me in this campaign.
You got so excited for
That
like
was
a half a
yeah.
second.
That
I've
is
never actually successfully remembered
pretty
that I have
unfortunate.
Savage Attacker ever. That's the first time ever, and I rolled 2 1s.
Jeez.
As you guys are chipping away, starting to beat at this thing, starting to get angry, just overhead, just slamming down on this thing, and there is this noticeable cracking from up north, not quite like the glass that you've been hearing up until this point, but almost like stone being chipped away at, being broken apart. As
What's
Rodrick
happening to this
now
place?
on the ground, you can feel this enormous pressure over you and this burning. And as you start to black out, You hit the ground,
Oh, by the way, I'm up with 1 HP.
and there it is. And you watch now as beside you this small white orb rolls off the top of your head and falls onto the ground beside you. You recognize that this is the pearl from the inside of the mask that is no longer with you at all. You're up.
Through tears, I came in a warrior, and I'm gonna die one. And I'm gonna take out my Lash of Immolation, and I'm gonna swing at the ant.
Very good.
Please God. Miss.
Dang.
Dang.
Unless an 11 hits.
So it no longer even matters what. Hourglasses.
Probably
It
not.
would not on that one,
But if we
unfortunately.
don't protect the hourglasses, then
Okay.
they start attacking us.
Well, with that, you still have bonus action and movement if
So,
there's anything else that you'd
Don't
like
protect
to
hourglasses?
try on your turn there.
That probably does matter,
there's nothing I
because
can do with
then
my
at least
bonus
they can
action.
track these things, 'cause if they keep coming, they might start
So for my movement,
That's
I
shocking.
will try to
protecting or not. We still have to probably fight these things.
run. I'm assuming that I'm kind of, I
think
can't
you can
run
support, but I'd be fine.
backwards towards the, like behind the hourglass, right?
There's technically still some space back there.
Is there a way I can get back there and bottleneck them from both being able to hit me?
It's the minds, so
You can always try.
we can cast
I'll try.
helpful spells.
What else do I have to lose?
I'm shocked. Do you not have any potions left?
So,
Huh?
So do you not have any potions left?
Nothing that can heal me.
Amazing. We finally brought him down. Time has come. All right. Trying to squeeze through there in combat
the
here.
sword
You start
to-
kind of pressing forward,
like attack
and
the elemental
as
and
you
hold it there?
start to move your way through,
against the wall?
you recognize that there is a good amount of space over top, and you kind of pull your body through there,
To the,
spacing yourself out to some extent.
and then just hold the top, like,
Each of them likely would be given
to the door?
a brief moment here.
because then maybe we can.
Go hit me with your opportunity attacks and bring me down. Just do it.
We
Get
get
it over
next
with.
The
turn
rolls were a
or
4 and a 1.
this turn?
How that happened is
But
God.
He's not getting benefits.
they're
from
clearly
hourglasses.
still bothered with you as you are pushing now
If
behind
we
this
know that, if we know
hourglass
he doesn't get-
and
So the ether one
pressing
is gone.
away from them.
His
You
ether
take it
now.
that it will be a little bit too slim for both of them to attack from, for sure.
I think he can
But one of them
never again wear the mask.
probably can definitely still reach through there and attack during its turn. With
Sick.
that being said, we're gonna move on now from Rodrick's turn back onto Calagon.
Alright, so we see him? We see that he dropped form?
Are you guys looking over that way?
Well,
Wait, let's
I'm
see how
assuming
far
You
you
said,
guys-
you said that we heard like the big noise or whatever.
Yeah, let me see.
Is it usually that it like lets
Sightline
us see through if we're
Calagon
not-
would definitely be able to see what's going on over there. And yeah, Cleave, you would also be able to see him from where you're at.
Okay, so we know that he's no longer gaining benefits from the hourglass.
Seems to be the case that he's just not masked up anymore. And he has, actually, yeah, presumably shrunk back to his regular size.
You're watching me die.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting beat up
And
over
we
here.
can't get to you. So, so they're gonna start heading towards the fire one.
Although, that might be to your benefit. Hold on a second.
But being smaller?
Yeah. Pressed into that corner, he's just over 10 feet away from where they would reach from the outside.
What do you mean?
They can't reach you because they're too big.
That is
They
pretty
can't
funny.
reach me?
Not just yet.
Not just yet. Alright, seeing that he dropped that form. I don't know if The other one, we're not going to be able to save it if they get there. It's like 1 HP left on that, so at this point, all hope is lost. Calagon feels defeated and sad for Rodrick.
We've got to get help to him.
We can't.
I mean, honestly, ignore the elementals, right? Because their plan is to destroy the hourglasses, but what's the point?
That's where I'm coming from.
But we can't do anything else.
There's
Yeah,
got to be a way to get through the vines.
Oh, just watch me die. Like, you have a front row seat to my death. And this time, none of you are asleep to see it. So just eat your popcorn and get ready.
What about possibly this? Maybe if I change, I can get through the door? Maybe? Doubtful, right?
What do they do?
No, I could just change my appearance, alter my appearance to what?
Oh, you think you just like trick him? I don't know.
Doubt it.
I wouldn't bank on it.
Doubt it.
You could try.
What the heck am I gonna do though? Okay, after seeing him fall. What?
Maybe you can hold down the vines with the sword if it freezes.
I tried to use the sword in the vines, didn't I? No, I tried to stop them from going through
We
it.
just need enough visibility to see him when we want to help.
I can't even get to it.
Oh, jeez.
I can't even get to it. So I'm gonna.
Can you get the sword to it? If you carry the sword and then make it move.
As you now step near the stairs, you recognize that again these tendrils start kind of pulling inward closer again.
Can I throw my sword?
You know
can
that it
make it
wouldn't
move,
go
right?
very
I can make
far.
it move. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
if
gonna.
you run towards it and then you make it move the rest of the way, maybe.
Is that possible?
What do you mean?
The immovable sword. I want to.
Or do you only make it go to yourself? Is that all it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
only
just
can
recall.
I'm gonna throw it then. I'm gonna travel my 30 feet of movement. I'm gonna throw the immovable sword.
Okay.
Try to hit it like 6 feet up center at the door, and let's see what that does.
Sure. Roll to hit.
6.
6. Okay. Yeah, it's as though these tentacles are actively defending the door and are able to literally like slap it out of the way as it starts coming towards them.
Am I able to make it immovable right before it slaps it, or like when it gets to the point?
I believe it takes an action
Does it?
to do so.
Okay, I don't know.
So I believe that would be separate. You may correct me if I'm wrong.
You can usually. Yep, you're right.
Okay. All right.
Rodrick. That ends my turn.
Fantastic. Looking on past this burning mass, you watch as now your friends are coming, doing their best to sprint to your aid. You watch as this sword goes flying back, and as you see them reaching out towards you, it's immediately snuffed out by this massive burning light in front of you as this salamander, now reaching forward, pulls around, grabbing at the hourglass, and whips its tail behind with a grand total of 8 to hit.
Okay.
And the ant starts scurrying up the wall.
Wait, did the salamander move closer, though?
Yes, the salamander would be closer there. And it's kind of like half body into that little area, kind of held onto the bars there.
Okay.
Cleave. Oh, wait, nope, I'm sorry. Can't forget these things are beating up on the hourglass
gonna
here. No, they're not. Forget it. Go ahead, Cleave.
Hey, all right. I gotta think something that's flying and size small has gotta be pretty light, right? Pretty lightweight. I mean, I've moved it around in a
The fire
pot.
ones seem to be relatively lightweight.
How possible, if it was just within a few seconds, do you think it would be? This is just like Cleave thinking, you know, brainstorming, to sling fling it.
That would be exceptionally difficult.
Okay.
A sling requires constant buildup of momentum after being able to grapple,
Yeah.
press, and so on.
So yeah, I get it around it, right?
Yeah,
And then
that
just-
alone
just-
would be a freaking
Yeah,
task.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna harm myself. I'm just gonna grab the pot and be like, you're coming with me. I'm gonna just pot it one more time and just run. Just make a run
Make
for
a
it.
grapple.
Okay, 14.
All right, that is a success on your part.
And I'm gonna book it my 40 feet that I currently have up towards 40 feet is pretty good. It's not quite there, but it's really close.
Yeah, it's a size smaller, so that's not bad.
So yeah, I'm gonna take me and my fire elemental all the way up to here, and I'm just Calagon, pin it to the vines! Pin it to the vines!
I like it.
2 for the price of 1. And that's my turn.
Very good. All right, back up top, of course, Rodrick.
Oh, man. I'm going to pull out my longbow, and I'm going to attack the salamander.
Okay.
Real fast, did I get hurt already from that?
Not immediately,
Not
no.
yet. Okay.
It's not over, Rodrick. Come on.
And I'm going to miss.
It's over.
Man,
Would you like to use any movement or bonus actions or otherwise?
Is there space behind the hourglass?
I'm sorry?
Is there space behind the hourglass?
There is very little.
Can I squeeze through?
and he is very little.
Make a dexterity check for me, please. Oh, actually, I already rolled that.
24?
Let's go. Let's go. Never felt better to be a skinny elf.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
The salamander whipping away at you with a 9 to hit this time. As you now dart just past its tail, you watch now as this ant slowly starts crawling around the side, and you can see as it's coming down, the two of them coming in to kind of pinch at that side, but you are squeezed, pressed against this glass, slowly just kind of pushing away, giving yourself additional cover on top of your very slim attack space here. Calagon, you're up, followed by the NPCs. Fun defensive tactics here.
I'm going to help Cleave with this pan. If I need be, pretty much get it to the wall.
Okay.
And then I want to use my action to put the immovable object behind the pan. Pushing it against the wall.
You could use the help action to grant him advantage on the next one, but that would be the full action.
So
You could wait and hold your action and then try to make it immovable if he were to do something and the NPCs don't escape on their turn. Or you can try to just push it the rest of the way on your turn now as an action.
I think the first two options, it'll get out before your next turn. The third option, you have a chance at blocking it against the wall, and there's also a chance it's going to start burning you. But at least if you hold it there, by your next turn, you can immovable sword it.
Or should I just try to stab the immovable sword into the... Well, I guess that would be an action to stab the wall and then hold it. Right? I wouldn't be... Yeah, I guess it would be.
You could immovable sword just at the front end of the pot and I'll just keep leaning into that until it's time for us to move to transition it.
Yeah, but is the sword big enough for the opening? Like,
I don't know. I imagine it like goth anime sword, so I did imagine it really thick, but that was might just be me.
It's not very thick
It's
like
not that
that.
thick.
no.
I imagine like the master sword, but like just like that big wide.
so I wouldn't be able to place the sword into the wall and then make it immovable, right? Like,
If
is it
you wanted
technically-
that to be your action, you could try to do that
Okay.
alone.
So it won't be an action to like place it, right?
So you just like put it somewhere and lock it as an action.
But I want to lock it like.
Yeah, I would say you would still have to make an attack action just to like bypass the tendrils, but otherwise, like, yeah, you could do that as an action.
What do you think?
I think I'm just carrying this thing with momentum. It's like in the open air right now, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, largely.
so as soon as that thing wants to make a move, it's out.
Which will be next turn.
The very next turn, I believe. Yeah.
So should I just take it from you?
Which actually, you could attack of opportunity just a grapple if you just wanted to keep it here. Although, no, technically I'm grappling it. I don't know how we're getting like I kind
We're
of like flavor
grappling
text it,
it,
so I
yeah.
would have to try at least, right? Maybe no. You're free to make your own decisions.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
your own
I'm
thing.
just
Do
gonna
your
go
own
up to the wall and I'm gonna try to stab the wall above my head and make it immovable. So you
Cool.
said roll.
Yeah, just roll a regular attack on that one, basically. What's going on at the rolls at this table right now?
4.
All right.
thing. It's tough, man.
Let's see. Yeah, then first and foremost, this fire elemental is gonna attempt to escape the grapple here against Cleave.
Okay. Okay.
Also,
It's a 3.
inverse there, yeah, as this thing is unusually quick to just fly on out. You watch like a fairy in some storybook. It's almost just like this glow of light as it just and starts darting away again.
Can I attack of opportunity? Try to grapple it when it runs away.
Yeah, I guess you can.
Let's go. Let's go. Nah, you down. Way better. Okay, a 19.
19. Yeah. Calagon, you would also get an attack of opportunity there as it leaves your space if you'd like.
Nat 20.
Don't be disappointed. You're about to rock it with your sword.
Roll your damage, please, and go ahead and double it.
Roll damage and double it.
Roll double
What
the
is-
die itself.
Can he have my
Yeah,
7
what is
attack
my-
that we wasted?
Where's the 8-sided die?
You guys are funny.
There's 8, so double the damage. Where's 7 and 1
Oh, I thought they were both 7s.
force.
Okay.
But they're each -1 on that too. So
Wait, what are you swinging with?
the immovable sword, right?
7 and 1? What's the...
Well, I guess if your movable sword is. Oh well, no, you didn't roll good on that one. So yeah, that's true. Sorry, go ahead, do your thing.
What's the 1?
Forgive me.
-1. So I got
No, I
double
mean-
damage,
Oh, my bad. Yeah, okay,
and they're
I see.
both -1. So 6.
6. Okay.
Could I be depressed again?
As you now just turn and slash, you watch as this thing starts to just. And as it starts glowing, Cleave, just in the nick of time, is able to just close it in with this pot as you now press it to the ground. You, like a grenade held down, you watch as this entire pot just bursts with smoke underneath and slowly just dies down on the ground.
No, I didn't want it to die. I didn't even think about that.
It's dead.
But it did prevent you guys from taking any of the damage. Unfortunately, as you guys have both been so locked in on the one, the other two elementals are beating away down at theirs. And so, you guys hear now this shattering of glass. And with it, you recognize that the sands have yet again started to fall faster and faster, filling more of the space within this trial before you. Let me move you guys to the appropriate positions here. Oh wait, was this the one we were supposed to be on the whole time? I'm pretty sure it was. I mentioned the higher sands, but I think we were on the wrong one that whole time. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot higher than that now, actually. So sorry, guys. That's more accurate.
Okay.
There is a lot of sand here now. As now just about everything is entirely covered. You guys recognize that there is another hourglass just barely alive hidden in there. But you certainly would not be able to see if another earth elemental is traveling its direction.
Bro. On my
It's
turn, I
not
put
looking
Calagon
great.
out of his misery and then myself.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I'm mad this map is giving me such a hard time here. Alright. Dang, what timing here? As it's now not loading. Well, Cleave, it would be your turn there, so that is perfectly acceptable. What would you like to do in this moment?
Are there
as the
other
sand starts
elementals
to pour
around,
down
or is it
over
just
you
those
guys?
two that we left behind us?
Those are the only ones that you immediately know are around.
But yeah, so no other ones have entered the area?
That you're aware of, yeah? Nothing that
Not
you've
yet.
seen?
No, like, yeah, exactly. Entered like
Nothing
my...
that you've seen.
Oh, yeah, right. There might be Earth ones. And I can't even see the Earth elemental that's fighting the hourglass anymore.
The Earth Elemental in there is, yeah, those, it's gone.
I guess I'll just swing the hot pot at the vines. I'm just
Go ahead and roll to hit.
hold the sizzling pot to the vines. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's a 5.
5. Okay. Cool.
If I miss, does that mean there's a hole in I can get through?
As you now start clanging away, actually make a strength check for me. Or it would be a saving throw.
8.
Cool. Simple enough. As you start going to beat down on it, you watch as these tendrils amass in the center and almost like a spear kind of wrap and just lob at this pot, sending it flying out of your hands down across the room.
I start my next nap.
Here.
Forever
Good time for a
nap.
new campaign, huh, guys?
Yeah. Say that again.
What to do. My mace I left back there is getting buried in sands next to the other things. Can I look beseechingly at Calagon. Is there anything else I can do here?
Dang, this can't pull him in.
Then I spend my 40 movement just running back towards my mace and the other two things.
Okay. Cool. Then, as you dig around for your items, we're going to pick back up with Rodrick behind the hourglass.
Okay. I'm going to start off by casting Vicious Mockery on the ant.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, "Hey, ant! Bet you can't climb as good as me!" And I'm going to take a climbing potion and just down it. So I will use my bonus action to down the climbing potion, my action to cast Vicious Mockery on the ant. So the ant must succeed a wisdom saving throw of 13. And I'm going to start to climb up the wall.
It does not succeed.
Oh, so he gets disadvantage on his next attack towards me. This worked perfectly.
Okay.
Incredible.
I'm still in it, boys. I'm trying so hard to not
This guy's
die.
a psycho as the sands now pool at your feet. You just start to recognize, like, okay, this isn't going great. And downing this potion, you start scaling, and you watch as it's now walking with you, and both of you guys scaling up to the same thing. You watch as it's now distorted, and it almost starts to stumble as if the ground below it were shaking.
Oh, by the way, it takes 1d4 psychic damage. So let me
Very good. Roll it.
4.
Cool.
We might do this slowly, but we're still trying.
Psychic damage is a great move on an ether thing. I think that sounds pretty good.
It was not bad.
So now at least I got away from the one that I hope can't climb, and the one that's climbing has disadvantage on attacks towards me. So
That is not
Fingers
bad.
crossed.
Divide and conquer, actually. Yeah, I like that.
That is not bad at all. Okay. Yeah, very well done. Then we're gonna pick back up with Calagon, followed by the NPCs once more.
I'm gonna look into Cleave's eyes. Is this the end? Is this how it ends?
I'm running away.
Is he running away?
Probably.
Now is the sand up to the door yet?
It's like at the base of the doorway of where that one is.
Okay. And what's at the top of the door again?
There is some writing at the top of the door. Otherwise, there's just the bone-like actual like gates with almost an outline of where the mask was previously at its center.
And how thick are these walls?
Seemingly very.
And is the ground is stone, and then there's sand piling
There's
on
a
it,
ton
right?
of sand on top of that. Yeah, the ground now is sand, as it's now like up to your waist.
Yeah.
Where our waist would have been, right? We're not just getting buried in it. Are we climbing on top of it as we're running
Well,
around?
you guys are having to, yeah, so you're slowly getting buried still actively, but like your 40 feet, forgive me, would have been 20 still off the bat there, so.
All right.
You'd only be there.
And sheesh. I could barely see through, right?
Right. Yeah, the closer you are, the more masked these tendrils seem to make it.
I think I'm gonna make another attempt at the sword, and
Okay, and what are you attempting to do with the sword?
same thing I did last time, where I try to just jam it into this tentacle wall.
Okay. Are you trying to attack the tentacles, or are you trying to try to wedge the door open, or?
I'm trying to wedge it with
Okay.
this sword, but
You know what? I paused, so I only got 20 feet. I was going way slower than I expected to. And I look back and I just say, ah! Kelly, wait for me! Wait for me! I'm coming! I want
wonder
to
if
try
I
to
can-
help you with that.
I wonder if we can stop both of us if we can both try.
Nothing can stop both of us if we both try.
Okay.
Calagon, make a perception check for me.
Oh, no.
That one.
Very good. Well done. Do
Yeah.
continue.
Cool.
Just wanted to make sure, just checking on your vision.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Casual checkup.
When these tentacles attack a thing trying to get through the door, it specifically focuses on that area. Does it?
Correct. They are currently now pulled back for the most part until either you approach it or something else approaches it, at which point they lash out.
But if there's something that attacks it up here, does that? This still has a mind of its own for the lower
Yeah,
part.
they
too,
seem
I'm
like
assuming.
they're able to freely
Yeah.
grasp at multiple things.
How high is the ceiling?
Oh, the ceilings in here aren't nearly as high as the ceilings out there, but I don't remember what I had previously set. So I'm just gonna make up something in this moment, given the general base for what this one might be, which would probably be, I'd say within this more enclosed space, probably still about like 40 feet.
40 feet. I'm gonna try to go for it. I'm going to cast Alter Self on me. And I can change my appearance. You alter your appearance, you decide what you look like, including your height, weight, facial features, sound of your voice, hair length, coloration, blah blah blah. You can make yourself appear as a member or another species through none of my stats change. You can appear as a creature of different size, and your basic shape stays the same.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to appear as the elemental that ran through it. Is that possible?
That is technically a different creature type. So that would be a little bit different, but you could try your best to emulate a rough appearance, but it certainly wouldn't be...
It says you can make yourself appear as a member of another species. But my stats don't change.
So you just have to have the same basic shape. So like 4 limbs, a head.
I can't appear as
I'm trying to
I can't
remember what the
appear as
ruling
their
is
size.
as far as the current thing. That would be a separate race, not a separate creature type. The
Oh,
phrasing
right,
is
that's
just
phrasing
different
is
in the
species
new
instead of race. Yeah,
in
yeah.
the new game. In 5.5, they just changed the wording to make it sound like that would work better. It's different. They just are.
Yeah.
They messed up their game design on that one.
Would I be able to appear as one of the creatures that I became instead of that one specifically, or no?
It would be hard to try to take a form such as that, given just how drastically different it is. So you may want to save that one for something else.
I don't get it.
Basically, you can become like another, like playable race.
Yeah, you can become like a dwarf or an elf or a human. You can't become a tornado. You can't become a
No.
dragon. Those aren't like a regular like humanoid race.
So that the Earth one that he became wouldn't have been.
That is not a humanoid still. No, that is an elemental.
Well, it doesn't say anything about a humanoid.
Yeah, the phraseology is weird again because of the species. But for them in this game, it just means another playable race.
Can you find it under the 2014 core rules? Same spell. Either way, it's
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing either way. I'm familiar with the ability there.
So I can appear as another species, but not another being.
Not another creature type. You can only appear as another humanoid. Let's put it that way.
So your basic shape stays the same if you're bipedal. You can't use the spell to become
Let me see.
quadrupedal, for instance. Alright, well then... yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just try to, I don't know. I'll just try to attack it just like I did before with the sword. And, I don't know.
that was this.
Alter self, yeah.
That's completely different where you know.
Yeah, they changed it up quite a bit. All right, roll to hit.
Yeah. Four.
Okay. Sword is not it.
I'm gonna dig
currently.
a hole and put myself in it.
Nice. The 4 horsemen go
It
to the
worked
beach.
before. I don't know. Ends my
Where are
turn.
we at?
I'm
The
done.
NPCs.
And put
Okay.
everything but your head, but then it fills the head part.
Rodrick, you would recognize in this moment that the salamander
This is-
cannot climb. And in its frustration, it does try its best to spew fire at your general direction. It cannot, however, reach you from where it's at. So it's going to start going around. And it's not going to make it very far, given the fact that it would have attacked still. The ant, however, now crawling slightly
same
down,
exact- It's the same thing.
would still have to sprint all the way to you, basically.
Change appearance.
And let me see. Yeah, it's only going to be able to squeeze down there. Which takes a shocking amount of its
Seems
movement
pretty
as well, because it
generic.
cannot go through the bottom or the top.
Because it's too big to go through the
It's-
top?
Yeah, it's too big to fit
Doesn't
through
say
the
anything
widened
about
parts
human
of the
weight.
hourglass, so it had to go where the hourglass kind of bends in at the middle there. And so you watch as it now crawls out and appears from behind there, but still just out of reach from you.
So, and it was in the process of going behind the hourglass, so its visibility was was maybe lessened a little bit of me during that time?
Slightly.
That's the idea.
Cool.
I'm trying to trick the door into thinking I'm something
Cleave,
else,
you're up.
but he said I can't. I
No,
can't.
it's so missing. Oh gosh. Oh, but you went forward with the thing. I'm just gonna make my way back to Calagon, and I'm gonna suggest that we do a team effort at stopping up some of these tentacles. So
Okay.
I'll wait for him, or I'll swing the sword and he just freezes it, or whatever we got to do to make it, best case scenario of us trying to stop it up.
Okay.
That's it.
So, do you have an action prepared that you'd like to set forth?
Either a help or swing the sword, whatever he calls for, I guess. But the concept is the same. Swing the sword. It's just
Okay.
either with him or
You guys
not.
are just trying to hit the tentacles with the sword?
Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah. So yeah, ideally, maybe I'll swing it and he freezes it. That's an action or a bonus action to freeze it. I don't remember.
It's an action to put it
Okay.
in place.
So maybe
yeah.
I'll swing it because at least I have a +1. Or maybe I'll help him and we'll get
All right.
advantage.
Cool. Easy enough. Rodrick.
Okay.
Oh, he's smiling.
Because this is weird. Okay. So, since we are allowed to use bonus actions to take potions, correct?
Correct.
Can I use a bonus action to reach into my disguise kit?
Should be a free action to reach into the disguise kit. That's
okay.
no problem.
But to place something on my face from the disguise kit?
It would really vary what that is.
My big googly eyes from earlier on in the season.
Your
The,
what?
The glasses with the little hanging googly eyes like that comedians have.
What have I gotten into
Kinda
here?
looks like a
Comedians
snail.
in the 50s, maybe.
Why do I not have any memory of this?
Really? You don't remember the googly eyes?
Was this from when you were doing the infiltration?
This is from back. I don't remember when, but it was earlier this season. It was part of the disguise kit. You don't remember when I was taking stuff out of the disguise kit? I was like, oh, the glasses. Like how comedians put on those googly eye glasses.
Not gonna
remember
fight
now?
it. Not gonna fight it.
Okay.
It's a free action to just wield something,
Okay.
and given its lack of use, I don't really care enough to
put it on?
fight it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now with my...
Just throwing
Okay.
on some shades to
This
do
is going to be
combat.
interesting. This is going to be interesting. So with my disguise kit, it'll let me... Okay, so I'll be able to create a visual disguise, so it'll kind of be deceptive to the creature. Or it could be, mind you, that's up to your discretion. But at the same time, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to have created a version of myself that was still climbing, but just 5 feet tall, as I slither back into the other side of that hourglass. I'm trying to deceive the ant into believing that I am still about 15 feet away from it, up north on the wall.
for the sake of what is occurring, and the fact that you'd have to shift past and away while, for some reason, wearing googly eyes, I would say that this is going to actually be a performance check more than anything.
Okay. Okay, but I still cast Minor Illusion on myself.
Right.
Of myself.
Right.
And I am going to move with my full movement speed to this other side of the hourglass through the side that it cannot climb through.
Okay.
So going up, which would place me at about here.
Yep.
And there's a version of Rodrick still in that spot. And I'm going to roll for a performance check. Oh, baby, don't let me down. Okay, it let me down, but give me a second.
Man, and nobody's had any inspiration this whole time, huh?
Nope.
Y'all have nothing to buff anything. It's gonna
Nope.
be great playing a bunch of bards. That'll never be an issue ever again, guys.
Yeah, well,
You're still level 3.
hold on 1 second. Here it is. Okay, so I'll be able to add a +2 to it then. Okay, so it's gonna be 2 plus performance. 5 plus, so 7 plus 2. 9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please read out my die for me, sir?
I want to lie, but no, it's a 9.
It's a 9. This has a -2 in its intelligence.
Oh, nice.
So it's a 9 minus 2?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I can't believe it. I can't believe it fell for the stupidest thing in the world. And the googly eyes, honestly, was just so that I can add a +2 proficiency bonus to my roll. Because then I'll have been able to say I'm wearing a disguise from the disguise kit. And also, in pure Rodrick old school Rodrick fashion, he thinks it makes him look as much like an insect as possible because it's just bouncing.
I see the antenna at least, you know, it's good. At least if you're to change shape now, it seems to blend in a little bit better.
But it looks so stupid because it's just a pair of glasses with little eyes on springs.
Okay.
But we're trying to swing.
Well, Calagon,
Oh, goodness.
you watch as now this ant is chipping away at a fake Rodrick and will be attacking him as its turn next time around. But what are you going to be doing in this time?
Me and Cleave have a plan. What's that plan again?
We're trying to team up to swing the sword. I'm trying to help you out with the same thing you've been doing, but now with help.
Yeah.
I will say.
So
that-
should I just use...
Can I say one thing really quick?
Uh-huh.
A distraction, even a sonic one, would probably help me.
Can't get anything through that door, though.
Do any of you guys have minor illusion?
No.
Okay.
You're right, there's no help. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm struggling so bad.
I have shape water.
I'm like, just get them to stop looking at me, and then I can maybe get away.
Oh, sheesh.
Oh, this is so rough.
So yeah, me and Cleave are gonna try to swing this sword together, so...
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit at advantage.
Not 1.
And
So that'd be a 0. 18.
That is so much better. Thank God for advantage.
Yeah.
As now Cleave helps by grabbing at these tendrils as they're whipping out to pull back away at it. One of them starts to wrap around the sword, and he just holds last second to press it in as you continue down, and right before it grabs at your hand to push back away, you watch it just, it slices this tendril clean off, and it just, and you can watch as now it starts like flapping around in the sands and slowly flapping closer towards the door as though it's trying to reach back towards its brethren.
Ends my turn.
Alrighty.
all right,
With that,
that's something.
this ant
Yay.
is going to mess up Minor Illusion Rodrick Elwood. As you see now this impact as it just presses its pincers into the wall and this just massive dust cloud shoots out from it. You can feel the force trembling as it quakes the wall that you're held onto. And the salamander, none the wiser, just follows up, looking its way and trying to see what's going on, and clearly recognizing that it's an ant just over nothing. As now it is in that illusion space, it's going to continue searching for you, making an active and very good perception check. It's gonna find you and maybe call out, but that's the best it can do from its current placement. So, with that, unfortunately, other things have been occurring in this time. So let me roll the 2 that I should have. All right, and still safe, surprisingly there. Okay. What a strange setup here. Let's run this for one more round to see if anything changes in the interim here. But Cleave, we're gonna start back with you here for a moment.
I'm gonna continue with this. Wait, hold on. Is there a clear hole that I could do something through right now?
You can see through it a little bit.
I have a moment. Like this is
Briefly.
my one moment. All right. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! How? Dang it!
These things are pretty far from you guys, though.
I have so few helpful.
About 113 and 150 feet.
All right. Hang on a second. No, I can't think of any way that doesn't make this 2 different actions. Yeah, I think that's just the way it is.
I have
I don't know what's going on with you over here, man.
Dude, I am literally trying to think of any way to get away from these things. I have another plan.
So you gotta fight back at some point, otherwise
All
you're
right.
done.
Oh, man. Yeah, all I'm going to do for now is... I want to pull out one of my sacks of what the heck is it called? Spices and stuff. Any chance I have sugar? That'd be just nice if that was one of them. It doesn't have to be. I can make spicy
I was
ones.
gonna say, I don't recognize any point at which you'd gotten sugar, but you did get actual regular mixed spices from...
Yeah, I don't know if sugar was one of the things they
encampment.
sold, but you know, if it wasn't, yeah, I'll just take what is it called? Curry. I'll just take some curry or whatever in a bag, and I'll hold that out if I can get my arm through it, and I'm gonna produce good berries into that bag, and just leave my hand on the other side of the tendrils.
Interesting. So you're just trying to force good berries in
Spicy good
a
berries.
spice bag.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I will still say roll to hit to try to
To get through, yeah. What I
Punch
really wanted to do
through
is
here.
put the spice bag into my sling and fling it as far close to him as I could. But that's definitely a whole other turn's worth of effort.
Yeah.
What am I rolling? It was a flat 11, whatever it is. But
This would be... I would say actually you could make it technically either an attack roll using your strength or a sleight of hand check.
they're the same thing. 12.
12? Okay. As there is
Oh,
a
wait,
very
unless it's an
clear
attack with a-
void here.
Unarmed? Am I? Wait, everybody's proficient in unarmed, right?
This is an
They just don't hit
improvised
hard.
weapon.
Improvised weapon.
This is an improvised weapon.
Okay.
You wouldn't technically have proficiency in it because
But, yeah,
there's
12.
bulk to it. But that is enough to just get your hand through it for a second.
Okay.
As now reaching across, you feel the thing start to wrap your arm, and last second you're able to
Yeah,
let
if
go.
they start to
as
pull my arm
they start
back,
just
then
like
I let
pulling
go.
you
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and once again starting to eject you away from this doorway.
Rodrick, good berries.
Not pushing you far.
It's spicy, and I'm sorry.
So weird. Rodrick, you're up. Joel, decide what spice.
Curry for sure.
Curry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You see how the hourglass with the sands that are trickling out of it is cracked? Are those cracks on both sides?
Are the cracks on both sides? They are just on the front where the elemental had hit.
They are just on the front. Okay. Then if I were to jump onto the hourglass, what are the odds that I could break through the glass?
This is a pretty thick glass. It would take some serious damage to bust it open any further just from an enclosed portion.
Okay. Then I am going to... Okay. I'm going to use my free action bonus action to put on Osmanthus's gas mask.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my longbow and I'm going to shoot at the hourglass to create a crack in it.
Understood.
And I am going to then try to either jump through the hourglass into the sand or climb my way there and make it in.
For sure, roll to hit.
Let's start with that. Please. God. Be a nat 20. Why? Why? Why?
And when the world needed him most.
Why? Okay. Well. 8.
8 is unfortunately not enough to deal any
rolls-
damage to the glass.
His rolls were unstoppable all season.
Okay.
Yep.
All
Oh,
good.
man.
I'm still good. I didn't hit it. I still put on Oz's gas mask.
Okay.
And I'm still going to move
I'm picturing
30.
the gas mask with these eyes bulging out the front of it still.
I'm going to climb out to here.
Good bug disguise.
Okay. You're definitely doing a great job of keeping your distance, I'll say that much. Okay. Calagon, you're up.
Alright, noticing that Cleave got his arm through after somewhat of a hit to the wall, I'm going to magic missile on 2nd level, and I want to do all 4 in the same exact spot to see
Okay.
if I can break through for the ones behind it to go through the wall.
Okay. There is an actual clear space still currently where there is an opening already. I'll say that much.
Well, the only one I can hit is the salamander.
Right.
So I'm going to aim all 4 towards that.
Okay, yeah. Roll your damage.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 towards
13
the
points of
salamander.
damage. Not bad. Not bad at all.
And
I just need to
hopefully-
keep my distance enough for them to get through that door. It's going to take them like 12 tries to get through that door.
So is there still that opening?
For a brief moment, yeah.
Does it make
it's
like a more
starting
of a,
to close up around it as those tendrils are now doing their best to try to seal it.
I'm gonna jump, use my.
And you can see
action.
that the one tendril on the floor is getting closer to the door as though to reattach to the
I'm gonna
rest.
step on it as I try to go through the hole that's still there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, Cleave, push.
The hole is pretty small here.
It's gonna be in my
like
head. I don't care. I'm
It's like a
trying.
whole gate still in the way,
Uh-huh.
so you know your body wouldn't fit through it. An arm could fit through it, but your body would not.
Okay, well I'll go and I'll throw my arm in there and I'll say, Cleave, push. That ends my turn. That's all I got, man. I don't know.
Dude, how sick would it be if Arlyn just like came
Okay.
crashing through a portal
It's so useful.
and you just hear Thunder by AC/DC? How great would that be?
Okay.
Just-
We
come
need-
on.
we need
We
it.
could use a Deus Ex Machina moment here,
hold on.
Tristan.
Nick, roll just a d20 for me.
Me?
Yeah. Just,
You don't
just
want
roll a
David
d20.
to do it? He's
11 or higher is beneficial to you guys.
2.
Dude, why is 2 the number of the day? The amount of times I've rolled a 2 is
So you
crazy.
only have good luck when your brother's here to reap
Apparently.
the opposite. You guys counteract one another.
I think
Okay.
it is because this session we're just.
I've only
dropping a
had
deuce.
either really horrible rolls
Sorry.
or really good rolls. And only really good rolls on checks and really horrible
been a
rolls
big
on
number.
attacks.
Okay.
So sad.
Honestly, yeah, no, even its thing doesn't reach up to you from where it's at, so that's still fine. The ant, however, is able to get pretty darn close now.
Did I
What is
distract
the
the
movement
salamander
speed
at
of this
least?
ant?
You have to recognize it's still able to dash and get through. It's not bad at all.
Hey.
And it doesn't have to go necessarily through the very, very base, but close to it. Ants still are pretty good at squeezing through spaces.
I hit the salamander though.
But
so
that
you're
is
good.
its full sprint speed. So, as much time has been wasted, you have stayed alive for a very long time. Well done to you. Let's close this round out here with Cleave.
I push.
Nick,
know,
I would like
technically-
for you to make a strength saving throw at advantage, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
If this was chess, they would have called it a draw.
The first one was okay. So 15 plus. Oh, 14. 15 minus 1.
15 was unfortunately the DC.
Oh no!
Nice. Of course
As
it was.
now you two go toppling backwards, holding now your friend Calagon. You feel now where you guys don't take the damage of
Hang on.
everything.
I mean, it's my turn. I'm the one pushing.
Uh-huh.
I have a +1. I'll just say.
You're just giving him advantage though. You were using the help action unfortunately in that time. So, with his action, he was able to try to hold tight against it, but still fighting it. Not quite enough,
We're on the
unfortunately.
10th commandment, right? Okay.
I
getting
believe
ready
it's
for
the
that.
9th today. Not
Oh, yeah,
bad.
it is nice.
All right. So, as these creatures now start to converge, you can see now where this salamander is spitting flames up in the air, very similar to what you'd experience from the statues, albeit not as uncontrolled and ridiculous as what you've seen from times past. But as the ant starts to crawl closer, you can recognize that its footsteps are now starting to pulsate with energy, shaking the wall with every step, and you recognize that the ant is actually growing in power. And now that it's getting closer to you, you can start to feel this pull coming from the ant itself. With that, we will of course pick back up for our final session of the Four Horsemen next week.
Oh, are we? I didn't realize
Oh,
we were
next
doing
week was
that.
supposed to be an insight
We are
check.
still doing a little bit because Manny is not here, and we do need to close out a few loose ends.
Okay. I
So
didn't know
we'll
that.
run it just like we would a normal insight check, where we'll play some of the game and then hop on over to the insight check and determine if you guys get flooded out in full or not. But I will say there is definite signs of damage being done to yet another hourglass that you guys are not paying any attention
But
to
who
in this
cares?
time. So,
We die next
with
session,
that being
boys.
said, I will
Finish
finish
strong.
this session off with one final note, as we will move on now to the 4th stage of this trial, where the two of you guys will unfortunately be completely flooded over with sands as these rooms fill, and you guys will be fighting for survival in your own right. And Rodrick is now far, far above the sands, facing this ether ant. And we'll see how it goes next week. With that, let's hop in to the 9th commandment so that we can continue on in the series and finish it out along with our campaign next week.
Alright. Let's move on. Let's see.
Great survival, David. Great survival. Absolute absurdity.
I am trying so
Some
hard.
pure silliness going on under here.
David is carrying us through this, man.
That's so good.
All right.
I just want
Exodus
to
2016.
Hopefully Arlyn
I just
does
want to point
better.
out that the next verse right after the Ten Commandments says, "Now when all the people saw the thunder and the flashes of lightning and the sound of the trumpet and the mountain smoking, the people were afraid and trembled." That's our Arlyn entrance that you were talking about.
Wait, say it again?
I was saying the next verse after the 10th commandment says, "Now when all the people saw the thunder and the flashes of lightning and the sound of the trumpet and the mountain smoking, the people were afraid and trembled, and they stood far off."
Tristan.
Pretty dope.
He's gonna have a great time on his side, far away from the ziggurat.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, for now, we're on Exodus chapter 20, verse 16. The 9th commandment says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." Every version of this that you ever see just says, "Thou shalt not lie." And this is like the one of the biggest ones I wanted to talk about. Just in terms of very simple, it doesn't just say, "Thou shalt not lie." It's being way more specific than that, and that could be its own whole sermon, just on the specific sin of bearing false witness against your neighbor. Because it's interesting, when Nick was looking at the language at the Hebrew word that was used there for "thou shalt not steal," lying could kind of be encompassed in that. You know, in certain translations. Mm-hmm. This one is being more specific. This is saying, I'm laying out law for the first time ever. You've lived purely just by your own conscience until now. I'm laying out law, and now that there is law and that it's punishable law, but before we're done laying out what the law is, I'm going to tell you that if you ever try to accuse somebody of one of these, if you ever try to bring God's punishment down on somebody else unjustly, you are going to be held accountable. They label it right away. God wanted to be very clear that that's its own punishable offense. Just bearing false witness, to me, has always been one of the most evil things that a person can do, to just destroy another person and then lay back and watch it happen. It's just it's heinous. Just to watch other people do evil that's not evil in their eyes because they think they're doing good, but it's all you just puppeteering. That's so evil. That's so...
Proverbs 6, verse 16 through 19 says, "These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren."
This is all of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say every single thing that the Lord abhors and considers an abomination listed there falls under this commandment.
Yep. It says pretty plainly,
That explains why I've
these
always
6
hated it.
things the Lord hates. Yeah. And it also says here that 91% of us lie regularly. The majority of us find it hard to get through a week without lying. 1 in 5 people can't make it through a single day without lying.
Yeah, that used to be me for sure. I used to lie no matter what. It didn't matter. I was just like, yeah, it's just like how you talk. For some reason, growing up, I was just like, yeah, it's just like what you do, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just like deceive people and try to like come out cooler and better and just do whatever you can and just like be the one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Did not help. Did not
Honesty
help
is
in
something
life.
I have to try to think about so purposefully all the time. So yeah, even if we do take it a step back, just like honesty, right? Like, this is like, don't lie. It's so second nature to protect yourself from any little things that I have to talk myself down when I'm not even having real conversations. I'll just be like in the car running late, like, oh, what am I going to tell my boss? And it's like, the truth. You just, well, you don't have to lie. Like that. It's so tempting. It's one of the biggest sin temptations, I think. It's just so commonplace.
Easy. Yeah, it's just so easy. It's something that you can just slide into anything and not have to even like think about.
Yeah. Yeah, us as Christians, I guess we try to be more Christ-like, and lying would be like the most obvious way to not be.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, lying
He
would
is
be
truth.
Yeah.
He is the way, the truth, and
And
the life.
what the devil comes to seek, what is it? What is it? Destroy,
Steal,
kill, and
destroy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
But he's
I
also
think
the
he
king of
also-
deceivers. Yeah.
yeah. Deceiving
Yeah.
would be lying.
Which is also what they say about Allah. I'm just saying, but I'm not gonna. We don't have to.
You said
go
about
on.
Allah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
is the
no,
greatest
the-
of all deceivers.
Yeah, the parallels there are endless.
But yeah, that's for another podcast, another day. But
They're pretty upfront about it. Pretty.
that's in the Quran. That's not me just like slandering Allah over here. That's like what they say.
It's pretty rough.
Anyways,
Why would they
Yeah.
say he's the greatest of all deceivers?
it's in the Quran.
That's literally
it's-
like one of his titles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Greatest of all
That is
deceivers.
horrible.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Their savior, the Mahdi, is the biblical Antichrist, and vice versa.
This could be its own divine inspiration, Devo. I'm devotional. I'm telling you, like it's a whole
Luckily,
thing.
because of our commandment of the day, we are in fact not lying about this, and you guys can look it up for yourselves. But yeah, that being said, me and Joel, at the very least, definitely come from a theater background, and I'd say that that's such an interesting part of, I'd say, both of our growth at this point, where we've both individually looked at what it is to be in theater, to be an actor, to be, in these different, even just the friend groups where people are so used to turning everything into a game, where everything is for a video, for a performance, for a whatever it is, to the point where you're literally actively trying to deceive people at every turn, and you're trying to be someone else. You're trying your best to convince somebody of something that just isn't true practically 100% of the time. And coming from that, you recognize that when you look back on that, there's so much negative in a lot of those spaces, and there's so much that people just, I'll loosely say, like, get away with in life as far as deceiving others, that you don't even sometimes realize that you're lying, that you're deceiving people, but your actions can be deceptive. It doesn't have to be the words. It doesn't have to be the way that you speak in order to do something. You can just withhold information, and you can deceive people. You can bear false witness against one person without ever even referencing that person, if maybe there's information that you just leave out that would have benefited them. There's ways that you could maybe just talk the positives about
I was about to
one
say,
thing.
there you go. I've got one right now.
Yeah, what you got?
My new job is in sales, and I've struggled with the
yeah.
concept of it since before I started, and it's just there's a lot of bad reputation around sales. You don't necessarily have to run it the way the world runs it, but when you say the temptation for lying is everywhere, boy oh boy is it in this field, is right. It's just like you're trying to get people to do something that presumably they wouldn't have done without you being there, right?
Yeah.
And you want to roll persuasion checks, not deception checks, but it's easy. It's easy temptation. In my case, the situation is that I'm not alone. It's this whole team, and so I've had a couple of times, even just recently, where lies have been told on my behalf to make a sale for somebody else, right? Where it's like somebody had spoken to a customer and said, for example, oh, Joel doesn't get commissions for these, right? Like he's just a salaried employee, so he has no stake in whether or not you buy this. He's really just here on your side. The problem with that is that he could have just done persuasion. I really am just there on their side. If I don't get the commission, I am genuinely more interested in just like that they be benefited.
Yeah.
So we don't have to lie. But
Yeah.
it's an easy thing to do, and so they tell them that it's something that's not true about me, and it's just like, no, look, I would benefit from the sale, but that doesn't mean I won't look out for you. Like I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's my whole goal, and it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to. That's another hard part of honesty, is not just checking yourself, but now that I have to go address those people and say like, hey, I'm requesting that you not help me in the way that you thought you were helping me,
Yeah.
It's awesome, though.
because they bared false witness,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
against me, but they bared false witness in my name.
Yeah, in your name, but still against that person in essence. That's still lying to them, deceiving them to do harm to them in some way for their gain.
Right.
there's just so many ways in which that pulls into daily life, and it's even as simple as gossip. Bearing false witness against your neighbor. People don't recognize that, but biblically, gossip is like one of the worst things there is. Yeah. And the idea of spreading misinformation, playing this telephone game of like, well, I heard that, when you yourself don't even know. Don't get me wrong, there's accountability, and ideally two-way accountability in like friendships and stuff where you want to be able to call out your loved ones and be able to say like, hey Joel, you know, like, I don't love how you made that sale, you know, that wasn't a great way to do that or what have you, right? So if he were to do something negative, then like, yeah, of course, as his brother, I would call him out on that and try to push him in the right direction. But it's all too easy to say like, oh, hey, well, this guy said that you made a sale after he said that you didn't make any commission, which means that you're a liar, but I'm not going to talk to Joel about that. I'm just going to tell Nick about that and how Joel's lying to make sales, even though he might have actually come up front with the guy and said, no, I make a commission, and I'm still here to help you. If he gets the sale off that, then he was noble in his character doing that, and yet we've slandered his name for nothing. Yeah. And that happens way more often than we realize. There's so many times where a quick little telephone game eventually makes it back to you. Where I had to call somebody just recently because the telephone game met to a friend's ears, and I was like, wait a second, that's not even true. Hold on a second, we got to talk about this because this isn't right. And it's something that's so weird because we don't even have control over. It's so weird to be put in a place, in a predicament where you're the one who's supposedly at fault for having done absolutely nothing. That's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, I think there's also wisdom here to be practiced, because I personally, when this happened, I waited for like that interaction to kind of be over, and then for me to have a chance to talk to that customer again, and I had to find a way to put it to them that what they had been told is not true, without trying to disparage anybody else, because they still.
Tough.
Yeah, I know he was looking out for me, and yeah, no, that's a tough balancing act to walk that person is now in. But yeah, I had to go through that conversation of like, hey, something was said that kind of bothers me, that it's not exactly true. Maybe they were just implying this and that. I don't want to say that, you know, what their motives were, but I do make a wish. I had to have that conversation, which is even harder than if they would have just assumed it. Mm-hmm. You know, having to now say like, I do have some kind of like financial stake in here, but I'm still looking out for you. You really don't have to do this. Like, hopefully that garnered even more trust, and it works, you know, to everybody's benefit. But
no, honestly, that's awesome.
Crazy.
That is noble. That's because that's a hard thing. Most people would just like leave, never talk to that person ever again. Like, all right, don't worry about it. We're out of that situation. So good for you, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
But
it was horrible.
Hey guys, don't bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't lie. Don't really like
bear false witness for your neighbor.
No benefit
no false witnessing
ever. Remember that all sin will be brought to light at some point. And guys, it will always prove to be more heartache than not.
Yeah, man.
It's just not worth it. So while we may play in this fantastical realm here within the scenery, within the settings here at Divine Inspiration, trust me when I say we are doing everything we can to always push forward the truth and trying to make sure that we're just pouring out love and just getting to have a good time. So even in your games that you play, do bear in mind that these are still things that can hurt people's feelings. We've seen it from friends who swore on marriages during games and deceived people.
I swear on our marriage that I'm telling the truth right now, and then
it was not the truth.
That is a true story.
It's
intense.
It's easy to hurt people's feelings, guys.
I also want to get something off my chest here too. Like in role playing games, I'm not a. I don't feel that the way I'm holding myself back in life the most is like violence, right? So I don't go super hard on like, oh, I want to like deal damage and stuff like that. My vice that I'm releasing in D&D is deceit. It's just I do so much trying to get by lying in this game, and if anything, that's probably not good. Even in the game, because I'm really like letting that all out here.
It's just a whole therapy session now.
Oh man.
But I do. That is something for sure that I do really heavily in this game. And my next character's going to do it too, buddy.
Mine as well. Mine's going to start out with a lie, most likely. Literally.
I'm going to make my character completely unable to lie.
My
be
guy's whole
awesome.
thing is humility. So
That'd be
forget
great.
these guys. He's trying to be as humble as possible, be as forthright as he can be,
wow.
and try to be noble. His whole thing is trying to be noble and proper. So whatever these guys are doing, trust me, even in character, I will be doing my best to correct them.
My character's
You
going
better
to lie on
believe
your
it.
behalf, like inspired by real business people I know.
Well, I'm going to do my best to ensure that they're working on that one throughout the week as we get to talk about it here in
No,
Divine Inspiration.
It's not good.
But with all that being said, quite simply, guys, we love you so much. It's such a joy getting to be here
We're
with
being
you
honest.
each week. We honestly adore having you with us. See you next week, and God bless. You guys are wild.